Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Red Pill Progressive. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Mike Hilton of San Francisco, California. How are you, sir? How was your week?
Oh, it's difficult to even fathom a week or emotions at a time like this.
Yeah, I know. I know the stress of this whole situation. You know, being under lockdown and at least a lot of areas like New Jersey and other parts of the country. The rural and semi-rural parts of New York State are starting to open up gradually in a logical, intelligent manner. You know, depending on how low the population is in that county and how low the numbers are. Now, if somebody lives in a congested area like one of the major cities of the U.S., there's going to be a problem. I mean, you can still social distance, but you can't like for instance, if they can open up retail stores and restaurants and allow maybe 50% of the capacity. Right, sanitize. People come in with masks, and they stay apart. You only allow so many people in your store.
Would you fucking do that, man?
You got to separate the restaurant tables. You got to make them farther apart, which is not that bad because, well, it could get bad because then people have to make reservations. And then you feel like you're getting bum rushed out of the restaurant. Like, you know, like, oh, would you like anything else? Oh, you still eating? Oh, blah, blah. You know, I mean, it can be a problem, but the businesses will at least survive instead of go belly up. You know, instead of go bankrupt. I mean,
man, I just want this president to stop licking spoons and shit. You know,
the president is a whole nother talk show. I think a titanium reinforced straitjacket is in order. You know, he doesn't listen to scientists. He doesn't listen to doctors. He doesn't listen to the experts. He listens to his own narcissistic mind, and he makes stuff up as he goes along. And I think he's a detriment to the Republican Party, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you have all these people saying they want to run against him, even though one of them said he would, and then he didn't. He switched to Rue, and then this week, you know, I think this week we found out that one of the attacks in Florida was terror related, and one of the largest terror related incidents since 2001. And if that's not enough to really jar you, then something like a day later, another terror attack happened on our soil. Another one.
Right. So, and then the pandemic takes place in Wuhan, and right after he imposes tariffs on mainland China. You know, but why would they sacrifice their own people? Well, you know what? It could be like a false flag operation. You know, we'll make it look like it's not a biological weapon by letting some of our people get infected because we have a very high population in China. Who knows? Who knows? They don't. They didn't tell us the truth about extraterrestrials for decades. I mean, what makes us think that our government is really, or the media is really giving us the truth at any given time? Nobody knows. A friend of mine in south of France, he's an alchemist and a natural herbal practitioner. Jean-Luc Audin showed me an article where the World Health Organization told Italian doctors in Italy not to perform autopsies on the victims, the bodies of.
Somebody dies, you do an autopsy.
Correct.
Man. What the hell
They say don't perform autopsies. They were hiding something.
Man.
They weren't. The people weren't dying for the reasons that were told by media.
Did you hear about how that dumbass motherfucker down in South America is now buying hydroxychloroquine?
Well, I'll tell you in a minute. What they're dying from is not what Dr. Fauci and everyone else is saying about the effect on the lung. They were dying from blood clots, from a thrombosis that they found was that 5G radiation contributed to. It was a bacteria that was causing it. So they gave them antithrombotic drug like aspirin, a higher amount of aspirin with antibiotic, and the people were getting cured. Now, of course, our media, Dr. Fauci doesn't mention that. Now, hydroxychloroquine, the original international treatment protocol, is to give hydroxychloroquine with at least 200 milligrams of zinc, the mineral zinc. And what happens is the hydroxychloroquine forces the zinc inside of the coronavirus, and the zinc causes the virus to stop replicating. It kills the virus.
Sorry to laugh, but when you did that, I kind of laughed a little bit. So.
Yeah, right. Now, well, the coronavirus, let's just say this is the virus. It puts the zinc inside of it.
It's the virus in this case, yeah.
Because it must have, it's a virus. It must have a husk. It must have a hard to penetrate husk. Now, it's the zinc that does the job, because we all know zinc is a big immune system booster, and zinc is very important for radiation, poisoning, detoxification. So, but you have to give the hydroxychloroquine with the higher amounts of zinc. You have to take vitamin D, because the people who die from like pneumonia and this virus, the pandemic, are deficient in vitamin D. Vitamin D is crucial for a strong immune system. So is vitamin A, not beta carotene, regular vitamin A. Now, anyway, before I get to the red pill talk, I was running low on Himalayan pink salt. So I went on Amazon Prime, and I ordered like a 5-pound bag of Himalayan pink salt from a company called the San Francisco Salt Company.
I don't know about that place.
And it's it was very reasonable. You can't beat this Amazon Prime. I mean, free shipping.
Oh.
And all that. Now, let me get to the subject.
That's good.
All right. Now, of course, we've talked about before the hypocritical so-called equality of feminism.
Yeah. No.
And what happens is a lot of times if you meet a girl on a dating app, I've been through this experience before. Instead of asking you about your hobbies and interests and getting to know you as a person, they right away ask you what's your job, what do you do for a living, do you work? Before even getting to know what kind of a man you are, asking about your hobbies and interests. Now, to me, that's a woman that is trying to size up a man's income. I mean, it's really obvious, and it's almost like, and this woman had a really impressive career, and she was working from home because of the lockdown, the pandemic, but she had a very high level career. I says, you got a pretty good career. Why do you care about my income?
Yeah, I consider that a red flag.
I mean, all these women that have good jobs and they're older, and that's getting into the other subject. All these women with high paying careers that are older are starting to be picky and are preoccupied with a man's income, what he does for a living, how much he makes, trying to size up how much money is coming in. They already have a career. They already have a great job. Why? And they're supposed to be independent feminists. Why are they so preoccupied with the man's income? It's almost like their money is theirs and your money is theirs.
Well,
Now,
if I could just chime in for a second.
what's that?
One theory could be, sorry for any noise, Live PD is back on. Live PD came back on the air, I think, even a couple weeks ago. But oftentimes, women can screen for manipulation and so-called manipulative tactics. I don't really think of asking somebody about their childhood or about what brought them to an establishment where we are as being manipulative. It's just a way to break the ice a little bit. But no, a lot of them will already have this weird reaction, almost as if they know the script already, and they know that you're another one of those guys. In their assumption and in their generalization, they think you're already one of those guys who's trying to break free of the providery lean on society, where people always have to be around each other, always have to be getting other people's help. They can't fend for or be by themselves for 1 second. And that's a lot of the people who probably aren't doing very well with lockdown right now.
You mean
one more point, sorry. Even though, regardless of lockdown, it's your choice whether or not you want to be around people. That's your choice. That's not the lockdown's choice. That's your choice. And sure, you can social distance and so on and so forth. But some of these women will pick up on somebody who's been able to actually be dependent, but not in the way that you're suggesting. Somebody who is more R-selected would say. They're way more used to K-selected providery guys, and they'll be more reactive toward an R-selected guy than they would be toward a K-selected guy, because a K-selected guy is not going to do anything about it. Right?
Exactly. Exactly. An independent alpha male that has a life, has hobbies and interests, is capable of being alone. Men going their own way, is not going to take any crap from some hypocritical, fake, phony, fraud, feminist career woman, especially if she's older, if she's hit the wall and gone beyond it. He's not gonna. Her sexual market value is still much lower than a girl in her early 20s. I don't care what kind of career she has. She would have to be wealthy. She would have to be very wealthy and be post-war and be an older woman and have to bring her sexual market value up high. And there's a lot of women now that have hit the wall. They've gone over the wall, and they're very delusional because they become very picky. Now, what right does a post-war woman have to be that picky with men? Where they have to grill the guy and like he's on the the job interview from hell. They have to ask him 1,001 questions, and the first question is to try to size up his income. Now that's not equality. Obviously, that's not feminism. That's fake feminism. So.
Right, I find it really selfish, James, when somebody wants to meet up with you, and they may want to know about you as a person. They may want to see before they just jump the gun, so to speak. And you're not you, but some women. You're seeing if they are too adventurous, or if they are too spontaneous, or if they are too unstructured, and they are too unpredictable, because and I understand if some women have been hurt before by guys like that, but you realize that some guys are case selected, so they let you walk all over them. Not you, James, but these guys let women walk all over them. They allow it. They do not do anything.
Well, you know what it could be? It could be that the very picky, delusional post-war women are being hit on by so many average and below average looking men that are just horny,
not doing it right,
and desperate to get laid. So
they're not doing it right.
Huh?
They're not doing it right.
No. They're beta chimpanzees. They're sycophants. They're probably so preoccupied with getting the woman to like them that they're giving them too much validation, too much attention, by spending money on them and showering them with compliments. They're acting desperate and thirsty, and they're obviously beta suckers, and they will spend a lot of money if they happen to be guys that have a high income, but they could be funny looking, out of shape. It's kind of like the bald-headed, pot-bellied, middle-aged man that has bucks, that goes out and buys a Corvette Stingray or a Ferrari, which is like an extension, a prosthesis to his manhood, an extension to his manhood, because he doesn't have
in here. The manhood is in here.
Like he doesn't have hair anymore, or whatever, or he's overweight, or he's getting older, he's insecure. And I guess so much for Facebook turning off the sounds. I turned it off and it doesn't work.
Oh,
So
Facebook's been doing, that's annoying, but Facebook has been doing so many good things now, James. We have rooms, we have live streams, we have people joining live streams on Facebook. I just wish that.
Oh, really? They went back to allowing guests on live streams?
Yeah, they have. And I wish that they would do this thing where you could broadcast to YouTube from your Facebook account, while it also goes to your Facebook account. That would be
well, StreamYard will allow you to broadcast to stream to Facebook.
But not Facebook though.
You got to go. No, it's got to be on a Facebook page or a group. Like if it was a page or a group, you can stream to it. I don't think you can I don't think you can stream to your profile, but if it's a page or a group, you can stream to it. And you know what's good also? If you have a YouTube channel, you can download the Facebook show, and you can download on it from Facebook and upload it into your YouTube channel.
You can. I have done that before. It works. It works like a charm.
It works like a charm. Right now, I'm in the Facebook video doghouse because Facebook said that, I don't know, one of my videos did not was not approved by their so-called community standards, which to me is censorship. You know, it's censorship. Even Twitter uses the same term. Our community standards. Yeah, right. My ass standards. Like they could spam the hell out of us, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they could shove advertisement down our throat.
YouTube ads.
Yeah, and then if you're looking at
2 ads before a video, 2 fucking ads before a video, not 1.
Yeah, the ads in the middle. Wait a minute, not just at the beginning. What about the ads in the middle? And then if you're shopping on, let's say, eBay, and then you log into Facebook, what do you see? You see the same item you were looking at somewhere else. So they're fucking spying on us all the time.
They were going to be right with the spying. Can't they spy on what we think our wife likes, so that we wouldn't have to keep fucking asking? No. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
And now, in Europe, they're trying to experiment on the chip, the infamous chip. They're starting to chip children.
What is this chip?
It's a nanotechnology chip about the size of a. It looks like the size of a split pea, and they want to put it under people's skin, so they could track you no matter where you are, and they can scan you and find out, and have your whole life appear on the government's computer monitor.
They put all of this bullshit in our human systems by fucking up other systems like bodies of water. So now they want to insert a fucking chip. Good Lord.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it later when Damien comes on. But who knows? Maybe we have a chip in our driver's license right now. It's possible. So anyway, these older women, they're delusional. They think their sexual market value is very high, and they're getting picky. Now, my answer to the career woman, career woman, about when she asked me, "What is your job, James? Do you work? What is your job?"
Whoa, hello.
I said,
hold the phone. That's what she said.
I says, you didn't even ask me about my hobbies and interests. You didn't even ask me about where I'm from originally. Do I have a big family? What do I like to do?
Try to go that route.
Yeah, what do you like to do in your spare time? No, she went right for the old occupation question.
I'm sorry, man.
And then I said, no, don't be sorry, because I don't care. You know, I say whatever's on my mind. And I says, you didn't even ask me any questions about me as a person. You went right to the occupation question. I says, I noticed that seems to be a pattern nowadays with women on dating websites and apps. I says, a lot of them like to do that. I says, what do you care about my occupation? You have a great career. And she did. She had her career was really, it had to do with a big bank or investments. No, it had to do with a big bank, I think. one of the big banks in Manhattan. I says, you got an established great career. What why do you care? Why is it that important concerning why having a job or what kind of job it is, or why is that important? I says, women want to be independent.
I feel like some women will. Sorry, I feel like some women will respond negatively to you just because of something about you. But honestly, sometimes maybe a factor that's not in your control, because they can sense your character, and they can sense that maybe you're somebody who doesn't need to rely on them, or they don't need to rely on you. So then, at that case,
Yeah, but women have been mooching.
she
Women
said,
have been. I know what you mean
what's the
about
point?
women have been mooching off of men for hundreds of. I was going to say decades, but I think it's hundreds of years.
What's the point if you really can't though? And not
Well,
just because of money, but because of psyche, somebody's psyche. I
yeah,
don't. I don't ask women what their job is, not until it's been 5 or 10 minutes in.
no,
That's one
no,
of the last questions.
no. You're supposed to pick their brains and find out what kind of person they are.
If they can't handle that, I'm just gonna bolt. Honestly, if somebody can't handle a basic, decent question that doesn't revolve around objectivity and objectifying, then I'm just gonna get up and freaking leave.
Like
And say,
for instance, I'm a chick. Pretend I'm a hot looking chick. I'm not really a hot looking chick, but pretend. Oh, Michael Hilton. What do you like to do in your spare time? What hobbies and interests you have? And you would tell me your hobbies and interests. You would tell me that you go on craft beer shows. You love the flavor and the complexity and the uniqueness of craft beer. You have this hobby. You have this interest. You have that hobby. You're from a suburb of San Francisco. Excuse me.
that's right.
Howard Stern burp, so why can't I? You know, you're from a suburb of blah blah blah, blah San Francisco, and she's getting to know you, and then you ask her similar questions. What are your hobbies and interests? Bada bada boom, bada bing, and then you get to know each other. Then, if you want to ask, what do you do for a living? Well, I do this, I do that, or I'm not working now, or in my case, I'm a retired personal trainer and nutritional consultant. And
No, sorry.
yeah, yeah. Ooh, you can train. You know what they say? If the girl likes you, you can train me. Oh,
Well,
we.
that's
Oh,
therefore,
oh,
that's a good night for you.
I would love to train you. We can work out together. Yeah, like I'm going to be able to concentrate on my exercises. Yeah. So anyway, this is where we are. I can't stand a hypocrite that says they're an independent feminist.
Don't judge me by my looks.
Yeah, there was Kelly LeBrock. She was a model and actress. She did a Pantene shampoo commercial many years ago. She says she's washing her hair. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. She's
Somebody is naked or half naked in the shower during an ad that kids could probably see while they are at home, and especially if it was a pandemic situation. What the fuck?
No. This is old. This
No,
is
but still, if that was. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, a pandemic. A pandemic situation.
Kids can see that shit.
If everyone does what they did in Europe and Asia to get the numbers down, then more businesses will open up more and more and more. Now, the Jersey Shore opened up Memorial Day weekend, but not the concession stands. The people on the boardwalk that sell snacks and foods and drinks, no, they can't open up yet. But why? Because they don't have a big enough police department to be able to enforce social distancing. Because why? Because maybe the mayors of those towns cut the budget and didn't expect this to happen, this pandemic. So besides that, the water's 54 degrees Fahrenheit. It's freezing.
Yeah, why go swimming anyway?
The ocean, the Atlantic Ocean right now is 50. It's probably colder now, but this was in the early afternoon. It was 54 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, fuck
And
that.
not only that, there's riptide warnings up and down the Jersey Shore. So riptide warning. So that is our red pill chat for this week. I'm going to start dishing out the. I'm going to start giving the invitations out to our men.
Letting us have our discussion before. I feel like that was a really good discussion. How'd you feel about it?
I thought it was pretty good.
Good. Cheers to you, buddy.
Cheers to you. Cheers to you, sir. I mean, I only have filtered water from the zero water filtration system, but cheers anyway.
No, that's good though. Here, I've heard some good things about the. I think from you about the
zero system. Yeah, the zero water filtration system. It blows away Brita. Let's put it that way.
Wait, sorry, what?
It's better than the Brita system. It takes out, I think, 99.9% of the impurities.
Yeah.
Okay, Damien the Wolf Owens will be there in a second.
Oh, great. No shit.
Let me just
heard that Cost Plus World Market reopened today, and also places are telling me that their hiring freeze is over. Shit's great. Still no freaking bar. Still no freaking gym. But baby steps.
okay.
How's it going in New Jersey? And anything?
New Jersey. Well, they are close. I think they're close to opening up retail stores, but
not yet.
Following, well, close, real close, but they have to follow the rules. Social distancing. Restaurants can do the same. We'll probably be able to do the same thing, but the tables have to be separated. And people have to continue wearing the mask, which is better than the businesses going bankrupt, right?
Outdoor only.
Huh?
Outdoor only.
No. You could do social distancing in indoors in a retail store or a restaurant.
Oh, right.
But you gotta it's gotta be enforced. The same thing with New York State. New York State has a lot of rural and semi-rural counties, and the numbers there are low. And well, so is the population. But they have to follow the rules now. State parks, county parks, and the beach is open, but the businesses, for some reason, he's holding back. I think he wants to see the numbers come down even lower, Governor Phil Murphy, before he opens up any stores.
Well, I take it you didn't vote for Phil Murphy.
No, he's a Democrat, but he also worked for Goldman Sachs. He's a former Wall Street boy.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because the last Democrat he lost, and that could be enough to get a Democrat to be defeated next time, even if that's fine. So he beat Kim Quadango pretty fucking easily, from what I remember.
What did he do?
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's. I mean, how could you feel somebody's pain as a Democrat and be a billionaire with a Wall Street job with Goldman Sachs? I
Even
mean,
yeah, true, true.
we had two Democrat governors that were former Wall Street Goldman Sachs tycoons that were running as Democrats. So I don't know. I can't figure that out. But
New
anyway,
Jersey is so fucking interesting, man.
huh?
New Jersey politics is so fucking interesting, man.
Well, it's a very highly. It's a not not all parts of New Jersey are condensed with a high population. We're not. The whole state is not densely populated. Only the areas that are close to New York and Philadelphia to the south, because Philadelphia is on the west side of New Jersey, the southern New Jersey, on the Delaware River, and New York is on the Hudson River. So if
Right.
you get close to those two urban areas, and then we have Newark, New Jersey, which really it's a city, but it's a suburb of New York.
Right.
Not a suburb. It's part of the New York metropolitan area. Like the same thing like Stamford, Connecticut, southern Connecticut, Greenwich, Connecticut, Norwalk, Westchester County, where the Clintons are living now. Yeah, when you have the city like San Francisco, and then you have the metropolitan area that gets all the San Francisco TV stations and the news and the sports teams.
Yeah, San Francisco is pretty dense, so I think that's maybe another reason why we have had to be so shut down. Because basically, what San Francisco says goes for the whole Bay Area. Santa Clara County is the last in the lineup for reopening, and they are well behind Marin County, where I'm at. I'm in Marin. Marin County could take years to get back to where it was pre-pandemic. So we're pretty densely populated out here too. Some places not as much, but San Francisco in particular, with the three hills, it's pretty dense. People are right on top of each other.
So in other words, the homes, condos, townhouses, they're pretty close together. Like in other words, people don't have huge backyards.
Depends on where you're at. If you're at the fucking Presidio and you have a home, then you probably have a pretty good view. One issue, though, is even though the zoning in San Francisco is pretty genius, they're running out of space. I keep saying in streams, if you take the open space in the world that's left, it's basically a slice of an apple.
Wow.
Yeah, we're running out of fucking space, man. I'm gonna go chill a beer.
Oh yeah, and we got to start the craft beer talk.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Red Pill Progressive coming at you on cyberspace, right on YouTube. It happens to be May 22nd. Happy Memorial Day weekend. People in lockdown or quarantine. It is Friday evening. Well, it's almost Saturday because it's 11:50 p.m. now, and but it is May 22nd. Forget about the merry month of May and May flowers, because we're in the middle of a worldwide crisis, and even though the rest of the world is doing the the rest of the first world is doing great, except the United States and the third world countries like Brazil. Brazil is doing terrible. I'm very happy to hear that Spain will be opening up very soon, any day now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spain was in bad shape at one time.
Yeah, they run in space.
Spain was in horrible shape. Italy too, but Europe is doing well. Spain was the worst, and they're opening up any day now. And Asia's doing well. Brazil, horrible. All the third world countries that they're acting like the people down south in the United States. They think the pandemic is a hoax, and they're crowding into bars like in those idiots in Wisconsin. You know,
Oh yeah,
crowding into bars.
Sweden thinking they had herd immunity.
Well, herd immunity doesn't work. It doesn't quite work that way when you're doing a Kama Sutra with your whole community, and everyone is crawling on top of each other. Herd immunity is a gradual process where one person that gets infected recovers in a couple weeks, and then they test negative.
I'm sorry, that sounds like a fucking long shot. Don't we not even have herd immunity for the fucking flu?
Well, what I'm saying is that you develop antibodies that recognize that particular pathogen. So when you recover and you go from testing positive to testing negative, and you have these antibodies now that when they see that virus, you know, it's kind of like getting vaccinated. When they see the virus, they attack it and destroy it right away.
Right.
It's like when I was a kid. What's that popping sound?
No idea.
Like a loud click, 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 pop, pop, click. Are you like crunching something?
Oh, sorry, I was doing something with this, but go on. I was playing with that shit.
Your microphone, because I'm raising my voice. Your microphone is very sensitive, and I'm like, I don't want to strain my voice. So anyway, when I was a kid, we got vaccinations for certain things. You know, kids get the measles, they get chicken pox, they get the mumps, they get all sorts of things, even the German measles, whatever the hell. I don't know the difference. I don't know if you start walking around going Zeke Heil or what. But, you know, like the polio vaccine that they came out with. And the vaccine is supposed to contain a dead virus that is an exact replica of the live one, because it has to be exact in order for our immune system to quickly recognize it and zoom in on it. It has to be. Otherwise, the immune system could end up attacking itself. It can end up being autoimmune. But you have to take a lot of supplements like antioxidants and vitamin A, vitamin D, zinc, but you have to take them in high amounts, in optimum amounts.
How much?
Well, D I would say 10,000 units. A 10,000 units.
A year, a month?
No, A. No, it's a little soft gel. It's a little soft gel. And
is that those, or is that general health food and grocery stores?
Yeah, you know, some things are the same all over. If you go to a pharmacy or a discount store, the zinc, the vitamin A, the vitamin D, the magnesium, the vitamin C, it's all the same. The B complex, all the same. It doesn't matter whose name is on the label, but the multivitamin, you got to get quality. Like my opinion, I was very impressed with the Trader Joe's multivitamin for men. If
Oh
you
wow, yes, yeah.
if you see the multivitamin for men, I was very impressed with it. I think it's probably the best one that I've ever seen.
What's it called?
Well, it's called Trader Joe's multivitamin for men.
Trader Joe's multivitamin. I'm asking because I don't want to just, buy shit. It's like, oh, this is good.
For men, for men.
Multivitamin.
For men.
Spell multivitamin.
No, not just the multivitamin. Multivitamin for men.
Multivitamin for men.
Men, like what we are.
Well, because the woman one has estrogen or something.
Well, they have a multivitamin for women.
Oh, that was a joke until it wasn't a joke anymore. But yeah, bad joke. Hey, this is a blue moon, by the way. We have blue moon in the house.
Yeah, let me do a close up on you with when you do the blue moon.
Here's blue moon, guys. Oh, James, you probably know about this beer.
Of course I do. Belgian white. It was bought out by a big company.
It was. Although I think some would even stipulate that it's part of that company, and some have raised that Blue Moon as a bit of a front for that larger brewery. The conspiracy theorists out there.
Who bought it out? Anheuser-Busch?
I think either Anheuser-Busch or Molson Coors. They're out in Colorado. I would say Molson Coors.
Oh, so Coors bought out Molson.
Yeah, Coors bought out Molson. Yeah, conglomerate math, right?
Yeah, whatever happened to Ronald Reagan used to call them monopolies.
He did. He also used to call us out here in Marin County. You know what he used to call us Marin County people?
What?
Something like hot tub whores or something like that. He used to say that shit. That was either Reagan or one of the Bushes who said that people in Marin County are a bunch of hot tub lovers. My hot tub, it's a community.
Oh, hot tub lovers.
My hot tub down the block a couple ways. It's closed right now from the pandemic, but it's also not my own hot tub. So, but this is brewed with Valencia orange peel. It has Blue Moon 2016. So apparently, Blue Moon did not come about in 2016. Why would they say 2016 on the bottle, James?
Yeah, why would they? It's a little old.
Yeah, it's old. I guess it can't be a 2-year-old beer. It's not that kind of beer. I think that you really have to oak age it, or you have to barrel age it. Barrel age it in oaks.
Well, 2016, it would make it close to 4 years, right?
4 years. 4 years. Sorry, that first beer. Well, that's already woo. But Valencia orange peel, Golden, Colorado, 5.4% ABV. It's one thing about these big companies, they do know how to market. Because if you look at how this beer bottle looks, it looks as good as the beer. I fucking forgot the orange. I don't have any fucking oranges in this place. I go to you go to the grocery store 10 times a week. More you go to the grocery store, more you may forget about shit that you need. The more you may forget about shit that you need, right? So, I fucking forgot oranges. Fuck me.
I don't worry about it. So let's see a close up of the bottle. Yeah.
What do you think about this marketing? It's kind of a craft beer. What do you? I say it is. I say it is. The bottle.
You know what? I tried Blue Moon. And I much prefer the German, the real European versions of that. It tastes much better.
I think you'd like them.
like Aventinus. It's a wheat beer, right? Blue Moon.
Blue Moon's a wheat beer. Yeah, it's a wheat.
Yeah.
It's a wheat ale. We got Damien the Wolf Owens in the house. How are you, buddy?
Yes, your microphone, I think, might be muted.
Yeah, I had it muted, Sally. We can listen to what he was saying.
All right.
Well, I'm done now. So, take the flow.
And his volume is better than it was last week.
Sweet.
Your volume is like ours. You cranked it up. The iPhone.
I'm sorry about that episode, guys. I was wasted. I wasn't sure what the purview was. Had I been more aware, I would have definitely tried to go about it that way. So I'm sorry.
Wasted only after a couple beers? You lightweight.
well. Oh, the Sunday show. The Sunday show stops being serious when the divination is over.
Right. So when do you do the divination? Because those rods, you're right, James. I read up on that.
Not just the rods, his tarot cards. Who does that? Serious political talk, deep lectures, education, but to mysticism. Excuse me. Nobody does that.
Yeah, I noticed today you had a show earlier with Jay. What was it, Fandango Friday?
Yeah. Nobody else came aboard. They just sent texts. Yeah.
Oh well, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and Jay sent invitations, but you know, for the people in his world, his followers that don't like Fandango Friday, but then if we have a Thundering Thursday, they all come aboard.
I see. I mean, I've been thinking about just going on Jay's shows, just probably a beer show. Not one of his political shows, just a beer show, just talk with him, catch up, see how things are going. Because, like I said, I mean, me and him, we talk, we work things out. So,
well, tomorrow he's doing something called. He started something called Super. I think it's called Super Inclusive.
Yeah, Super Inclusive Saturday, something like that.
Something like that. And he says anybody can bring anything, even if it's tap water. He doesn't.
Yeah, what time is it? What time is it on Saturday?
7 p.m., but only for 1 hour. You know. Jay Tirio has his,
Right. I'll probably be working. I'm working 3 to 10 tomorrow. Or, well, since it's now after midnight here, I'm working 3 to 10 tonight.
Shit.
But it's okay. I got my beer ready for when I get off work. I've got a great deal on 3 of the 32-ounce quart bottles of natural ice. I've done the canned version. Now I'm going to do the bottled version.
Woo! The bottle.
Oh, yeah. And I got it at my workplace. They were selling them 2 for $4. So I was like, well, if I get 3 of them, that comes out to $6.50. I think after tax, it was like it wasn't too expensive, but I mean, 3 quarts equals a 6-pack of pints. So I mean, I think I got a good deal considering that the beer natural ice is becoming much more popular. Just like with natural light, the popularity is exploding, so they can command a higher price for it. I remember back not too long ago when you could pick up a 30-pack of like natural light or natural ice for like $11.99, $12.99 a 30-pack. Now you're looking probably like $18 to $19 a 30-pack for it.
Oh wow!
Holy shit!
Oh, okay. He had Mike Hilton has something interesting.
We've done it before. We've done it before. It's a
Well,
Racer 5.
well, it's a colorful label. Let's get a close shot.
Racer 5. I don't know if I'm really holding a candle to Damien on this one.
India Pale IPA, Racer 5, Bear Republic. All right.
When you first drink, after a while, I don't know if Damien agrees. I think he said he's not that much a fan of IPA, but one issue with IPA, when you first drink it, it's like, oh my, holy smokes, the holy crap moly, all these flavors coming at you. But then after a while, you have it 20, 30 times, it starts to settle in, especially if you're trapped at home, because it's a lot easier. I think any of you guys figure this shit out, that when you're trapped at home, you have whoa, Damien, you have a beer, and it's so much more familiar, probably because you know about that beer. When it's, you're trapped at home, you probably know about the beers that you're drinking. When you're in an on draft environment, you're probably a lot more open to newness, to nuance. No, not Devin Noonan. Fuck that guy. But newness and nuance. So Racer 5, yeah, what I'll say is it's great, same great beer that's always been. It still has that awesome seaside feel. But after a while, even the greatest of IPAs will become familiar after a while.
Oh.
Daniel, back to you, buddy.
Well, I definitely like the color of the West Coast and the New England IPAs. They have that fruity, mango, orange tinge to it.
I think you like the Nipas more.
Well, I like dark beers in general, like brown ales and things like that. Stouts and porters are not for like drinking every day, or if you want to have one is enough, but I could drink. I used to like the Newcastle Brown Ale or the Samuel Smith.
You like the Newcastle. I don't think Ronald liked that beer very much.
I never asked him if he liked dark ales, brown ales, or.
I didn't ask you.
No, Ronald is been going on Stout Sunday, the show Stout Sunday, and he's going to be on Malty Monday.
Oh yeah, with Bumpy Road Brewery.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a nice guy, Bumpy Road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, Bumpy Road. I guess they start around 7 p.m. Eastern time,
Why are they all copying each other? I'm not going to be able to see anything live, man.
Well, send him a message and ask him what time he starts.
It should be like 7, 8, 9, 10 for all these live streams happening at fucking once, dude.
Damien's alter ego just appeared.
Yeah, I don't know what in the hell is going on with my tablet or what the hell's going on with StreamYard, but man, oh man, here's what got this whole entire thing started. I was just making sure my screen was clean. It refreshes the page. Huh. Then I rejoin. It keeps muting my mic without me muting it. Then I was like, you know what? Let me just close everything and bring it back up. And I think now I fixed it. Oh, if it's not one thing, it's another. Just like tonight. Tonight was, if it was not one thing, it was another.
Oh, yeah, what was going on? Was it a busy evening at work?
Well, yeah, that. And then I got pulled to do like a fuck ton of dishes tonight.
What? Dishes? What?
Dishes?
Who does dishes
That's beneath you, man of your intelligence.
Well, to be honest, I really didn't mind it because Boss Lady, i.e. the manager of the deli, put the key emphasis on the word she wanted the dishes clean tonight. So I guess I got volunteered to do that. So I was like, okay, fine, clean it is.
Yeah, you know why? Because if you're bigger than other people in your department, the ladies automatically pick the big guy to do it because you look like you're big, strong, strapping man, like the women say all the time, and you get all the jackass work. They used to pull that on me.
Well, I mean, I kind of got bored of what I was doing tonight, so I was like, oh, hell, why not? I rarely ever do dishes, so if it's like a once in a blue moon, then oh well.
No pun intended. Hold on. Just like a blue, once in a blue moon. And guess what? You don't have to deal with customers when you're washing those dishes.
But yeah, that was the big plus. I didn't have to fucking deal with customers. All I had to do was, okay, dishes go over here that are dirty. You clean them in the sink. You rinse them out. You sanitize them. You put them over here. You let them dry. You put them up. It's not hard. Anybody can do it.
Could you make it a little thinner? Oh no, it's too thin. Could you make it a little thicker? No, a little thinner than that.
Somebody, Damien, somebody at my grocery store was like that. What James just described today. He told me to fucking wipe down a conveyor belt, and then he just left. If you're gonna ask somebody to do something like that for you, you should stay and fucking watch, and then get in the fucking line. That is sorry, I don't like to talk about shit at work, but that's just fucking rude.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Well, I'm already kind of clean and conscientious as is anyway, because I'm always changing my gloves, I'm always washing my hands, and I'm always wiping down a counter or wiping down and cleaning the slicer. I'm always cleaning or doing something because, like I said, I mostly do it because I don't like cross-contamination. So I've had food poisoning due to cross-contamination multiple times, and it is not fun stuff. I wouldn't want that. I don't think anybody else would want that. So I just kind of do it because I don't want it to be done to me. So
why are you doing dishes at a grocery store, though? Who does that?
Well, I work in the deli, remember?
Right, but still dishes. We have a deli at my store. We don't have dishes.
Well, we do a lot of stuff in our deli. Oh, and by the way, I learned how to use the wok last Saturday. So they taught me how to cook Asian food in the wok.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And it was fun.
The walk of life.
Yeah, especially whenever I accidentally put too much oil and I caught the food on fire. Now that was entertaining, but oh well, at least they got extra cooked and extra sautéed.
Oh fuck yeah, man! No, dude, I would fucking love how to operate a wok, because there's a local grocery store, not in Larkspur where I live, but Fairfax and Mill Valley, and they have a live wok system. So they will cook you Asian food while you're shopping for Asian restaurant, Asian food replacements. And it's
Right.
crazy, man. I love the grocery store because you don't always then have to go out to a whole restaurant, you know? You never have to, you don't have to go to a restaurant.
Here's what I learned how to cook. I learned how to cook the fried rice. I learned how to cook mixed vegetables. I learned how to cook sesame chicken, and I also learned how to make sweet and sour chicken. I think I learned how to make General Chow's chicken, and learned how to make egg rolls. So yeah.
Not to sound arrogant or anything, but what makes all the chickens different?
It's the different sauces they put on it. Like you have a specific like General Tso's sauce, a sesame sauce, and all the other different ones. So it's primarily just the sauces that go on it. Because the breaded chicken, it's all the same breaded chicken.
Right.
And also with the sesame chicken, you garnish it with sesame seeds. General Tso's, you can put broccoli in it, or you can garnish it with sesame seeds, or you can put like peppers, onions, whatever you want to throw in there.
Oh yeah. That's what's your favorite of all the chickens?
I love sesame chicken.
Cool.
And for rice, I'm a bit weird. If I get fried rice, I have to have a little sweet and sour sauce put in it because I don't eat with the fork, I eat with chopsticks. So, to get the stickiness back to the fried rice, if you put a little sweet and sour sauce in it, get it good and mixed up, makes it nice and sticky again, where you can eat it with chopsticks. If you eat just plain fried rice, it's like damn near impossible to try to eat it.
Oh man, chicken and rice, especially with that sauce, best thing in the world, man.
Sweet and sour sauce is sugar and vinegar, right?
I think so. I don't know. I've not looked at the ingredients list, but he was asking like what all the different sauces are that go on it. And funny story, whenever I was learning how to cook in the wok, I put a little too much oil in the pan, and it started a little fire in the pan. Hey, they got extra sautéed.
Yeah, you have to you preheat the wok on high flame, and then when you put the oil, you're supposed to put it on medium. I think medium flame,
Yeah,
and then stir fry that way. But you pour too much oil. They say I read that the peanut oil
Right.
can take higher temperatures, much higher temperatures than most of the other oils. Now, nobody knows if General So was a real general. Even Chinese people in
right.
takeouts and restaurants, I would ask, is General So, was he a real general? I think one Chinese woman said, "Oh, sure he is." I don't know if she was just kidding me or not, but
It's like the same thing with Colonel Sanders, I bet.
yeah, was
How
he?
do you get rid of your nation fetish? If you have a nation fetish, how do you
Yeah,
get rid
Colonel
of it?
Sanders. Yeah, the only reason why he got the honorary title of colonel is apparently in the state of Kentucky, if you do something honorable for the state, you get the honorary title of colonel, even though he didn't serve a day in the military. Henceforth, why he was called Colonel Sanders.
I wonder why they pronounce it colonel instead of colonel. It almost sounds like a colonoscopy or something. Colonel.
I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so I think I figured out how I accidentally started that little fire with the oil. So
Really?
first, when you heat up the wok, you heat up with the flame, but before you have to put a little oil in the pan because if you don't, you'll burn the shit out of the pan. So I put a little oil in and I got it good and spread around so that way it didn't stick and I didn't burn everything. So I think what happened was I was cooking it in the wok and the flame might have been just a little too high. And when I put the extra oil onto it, it just poof started a little fire.
Oh, so you're supposed to lower the flame before adding the oil.
Well, you're supposed to turn it off because here's what you're supposed to do. So you cook one thing in it, then you get water, and then you scrub it out really good. Then you coat the whole inside of the pan with the vegetable oil. Then you wipe it with a paper towel, make sure it's all nice and spread even so it doesn't clump. Then, when you go to cook something else, then you have the flame again, but sometimes you have to add a little extra oil into it, make sure it doesn't stick, especially with the mix of vegetables. But I think what happened was I put a little too much in the first place and didn't spread it around a bit too evenly. And I think I put a bit too much back onto them as I was sauteing them in the pan before I added in the sauce, and it started that little fire. But I mean, it didn't scare me. I just took a step back and went, "Oh shit!" So I kept flipping it and flipping it and flipping it, and eventually I got it put out. And then I
You
got the
weren't scared I
sauce,
would
put
piss
it
my
in there, and it
pants.
was all good. Do
If
what?
you weren't scared, I would piss my pants, man. I would
No,
piss my pants.
no, I'm not afraid of fire, and here's why. When I was younger, my granddad used to start big brush fires down at the bottom of the hill where he lives, and he still lives there. So I would go down there and I would help him. Well, I never had a fire get out of control on me before, so I'm used to big flames and billowing smoke coming up from burning big brush piles, so it doesn't really scare me.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're not in a, a moisture deprived part of the country, kind of like California is. So you can get away with
You guys.
bonfires. And, you know.
Well, as a precaution, I always turned on the water hose. So that way, if for any reason the fire started to get out of control, I could douse it pretty quickly.
Well, there was a guy. There was a TV series. I think it was on the History Channel where he used to his family used to help people that want to live off the grid, and he said in California, when they have a drought and everything gets dry, your home should have a metal roof for the embers that are flying when they land on your roof. They land on a metal roof. And you should also clear away trees as much as you can around your home. So you keep the trees far from your home. You have a metal roof. He says those are the two best things you can do if you want to live off the grid in those parts out west where they get the drought.
Well, the problem of being out west is that a lot of us are intensely on the grid. I think that is why not only there's a density issue, but there's an issue of trying to reopen right now. It's because of just this load, just from the political ideology out here. There is an intense dependency, and that's all good and fun when it works. But the second that something goes south, fuck, not working. But the second something goes fucking south, people say, "Oh well, I don't agree with Newsom. I don't like Gavin Newsom anymore. Bitch, I never disliked Gavin Newsom. I just don't like that he's prolonging something that's now causing suicide to go on in California and around the world."
I told you this guy I know from South France, Jean-Luc Godin. He's an alchemist and natural herbal practitioner. He sent me an article about what happened in Italy, and Damien would find this interesting. The World Health Organization told Italian doctors, commanded that they do not perform autopsies on the pandemic victims.
Yeah, I knew that. That's pretty much common knowledge at this point.
And the Italian doctors disobeyed them. They performed the autopsies, and they said that these people died from thrombosis, blood clots, and they attributed it to radiation.
Attributed to what?
Radiation.
See, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. I've never heard of a virus to cause blood clots and for it to cause people to have stroke. That right then and there was a dead giveaway. Something just is not right.
The medical profession in Italy says these people did not die from the affliction to the lungs that the media is telling us. They died from blood clots, thrombosis. So they gave the patients higher levels of aspirin, which is a blood thinner, and they also found a bacterial infection that contributed to the thrombosis that made it much worse. And they didn't find that the cause of death was from the virus. They found it to be a bacterial infection, thrombosis by radiation, and they mentioned 5G.
Now we see exactly why they're doing everything in their power to suppress it. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the Italian doctors were so, they're so used to doing an autopsy as being mandatory. They wondered why this World Health Organization told them no autopsies, and they did it anyway. And if they didn't do the autopsies, they wouldn't have learned this. So Jean-Luc says, well, let's see how long this information remains on Facebook.
Well, apparently, old hawk-nosed pencil-neck geek Zuckerberg hasn't taken down that 5G stuff I posted on Progressive Discussions. How if you literally take the 5G map of where 5G is located in the United States and you place it over the outbreak map of where there's been this outbreak, it matches perfectly of where 5G is located. San Francisco, LA, San Diego, Sacramento, that's California, Seattle, Portland is Oregon, I believe, and then here on this side of the United States, Nashville, Tennessee. Knoxville has some, but there was no major outbreak. None in Memphis. New York, Baltimore, Boston. I mean, I can go on and on, but all the major cities where this is outbroke, 5G is there.
Well, my friend Donald Boos, who lives in he's from New Jersey, but he's been living in San Diego. He says they're going into phase 3. They're opening up a lot of places in San Diego.
Yeah, we start phase 2 today. So now here's the official guidelines for phase 2. So they're lifting the restriction capacity on restaurants, but social distancing still has to be enforced until phase 3. So
Right.
you can have however much capacity you want, still within compliance of the fire code. Just the 6 feet apart for tables still has to be enforced. Now there could be no more than 10 people at a table.
Right.
There still can be no more than 10 people at the table. Now they're going to start opening large venues like they're going to start reopening amusement parks, tourist attractions at half capacity until phase 3.
Yeah.
Now, well, still, here's what else is going to happen. Bars should remain closed, but if the restaurant wants to open up the bar part of the restaurant, or an actual bar wants to open, they can, but they're not under any obligation to do so. So, if we're already going into phase 2, and here in this part of Tennessee, seems like most of the cases are gone. Hancock County, 0. Hawkins County, 0. Sullivan County, 1. Washington County, 2. Johnson County, which only had 1, 0. Unicoi County still only has the 1. Carter County, 0. So yeah, I think. Let's see. Are there any other counties? Oh yeah, Greene County now down to 0.
Yeah, Spain is opening up this weekend. Totally. You remember how bad Spain was?
Yeah, to the point to where violent protests broke out.
Yeah, they're they're opening up. It's well, if the numbers are down, and first of all, in the lowest population,
it's time to reopen.
Well, if the numbers are down, and the population is not so congested, then those places should be opening up with guidelines, sanitation, sanitizing dispensers, and only allow so many customers in your store. If you have a restaurant, just separate take some of the tables out and space the tables.
San Francisco was doing that. We were actually doing that before. You couldn't just walk into a bar; you had to wait outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you couldn't just walk in like a grocery store. You had to wait outside, just to get let in, and they would ask you how many people. So they would pre-screen the fuck out of you. I don't know why we can't just do that already. And this is where I agree with Damien a little bit. Is the solution is getting worse than the problem. I think Damien unmuted as soon as I said I agree with him. But yeah.
No, when they took my temperature at the clinic to get a examination, they did that little gun with
the little sensor gun, the temperature gun. Yeah, I had that whenever I had to go to the DMV to apply for my concealed carry permit. Yeah, they took the temperature. They just asked, if you had a cough, sneeze, have you had a temperature of over 100.4 within the first couple hours, or within the first 48 hours, or different things like that? I mean, I said, yeah, I've had a cough, but for seasonal allergies, that's when they immediately took my temperature and they said, okay, you're good.
So a fever now is anything over 100.4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what their guidelines are.
Okay. Yeah, 100.
Yeah, you know what?
Well,
I just hope.
my doctor says that a sinus infection can give you a 100.1, 100.2.
So you're gonna get kicked out over a sinus infection?
No. I know I don't have one. But, somebody's talking to Damien. No, he said if you
Yeah, my
have.
wife came in here. She's telling me something. I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, so if you have 100, 101, 102, and you're stuffed up, and if you're, I don't want to sound disgusting, but if you blow your nose and it's yellowish or greenish, and you have a fever, then you have a sinus infection. But he says,
Oh yeah, I just saw on your chat. We asked about if you want to bring the chat up. We could always do that. I asked how because
What?
I'm very MGTOW. I'm very MGTOW, as I call it. So how do you stop an Asian fetish? And progressive discussions
Oh, good.
it doesn't stop.
Girls.
how do you stop an Asian fetish? All I have to do is say, returning Japanese or returning Japanese. I really think so.
They're not
That was
docile.
perfect.
They're just more friendly.
Why would you want to stop it? It's what you like. You have one of the biggest Chinatowns in the country, in San Francisco.
I mean, because they're not docile. They're not docile. You can even put me up on the big.
Hold on.
For this.
Hold on. Let me raise the
I feel like
volume.
this is a little bit of a
Oh, by the way,
fan.
your hair is getting like Albert Einstein. It's starting to stick.
Poof! It's poofing.
Yeah, it's like, all right, now you're Mo Howard. That's all right. Stay that way. All right.
Wait, Howard.
I think it looks
Howard
good
from
now.
like Big Bang Theory, Howard.
Well, you guys have fucking had something so easy for you to say.
Hey, sometimes being a little geek or a little dork is okay, but it's okay to be about 15 degrees off cool, which is what we are.
Well,
they're about 60 to maybe 90 degrees off cool.
Yeah, but if they
because of the hat.
Yeah, but if they fix your computer, because everything's going haywire, they're all right. All right. Now, what about what is the problem with the Asian fetish now? What is the problem?
I feel like even though I'm very MGTOW, I call it MGTOW at this point.
Men going their own way. Yes.
I feel like that is harmony. So I will call it MGTOW as opposed to MGTOW. More people are more MGTOW than they may realize, and that's okay.
Well, they're very outspoken, very honest and outspoken ladies, women.
I have this crazy, as a white guy in the Bay Area, I have this crazy Asian fetish, and what I've come to understand is that no, Asian women aren't, I think what they say, docile. I don't know what that means, but they
docile.
Docile. He said,
docile.
Docile or dog style? What the hell's he say? What'd you say, docile or dog style?
They are docile.
Oh, docile.
I don't know what that means, James.
Docile is a very like inoffensive, laid back, calm person. Like,
or it could also be used as timid.
Like in other words, if you try to pick up a crab and cuddle it, chances are you're not going to get docile from the crab. You're going to get hurt. You know,
but
it's like,
Yeah, I hear you on that, but Asian women, it's not that they're really, you know, docile. It's that they. I
You
feel like I need to make a point. I feel like I need
docile.
to make a point here. I feel like I need to make a point here, James. So,
Yeah.
thanks, buddy. And it's just they're not compliant. They're just friendly. So just because an Asian lady's being friendly to you doesn't mean that she's gonna translate that into what happens in a bedroom. You know what I mean?
Because they don't have the same personality that let's say like a Caribbean Latina, you know, a woman in Latin American countries has like
Look,
a lot of, they have passion in their personality.
Look, that's really hot. I'd have to say that is really hot on an Asian lady.
Their passion.
That's very rare. It's very. We've talked about this before, but still, that's very rare in comparison to Latinos.
Yeah, but
I feel like it's not recent enough, so I'll say I've with a Latino before, so
but I think
the Asian, sure.
I think it's in their culture, the way they're raised to be that.
How do you break through that? How do you stop with the
very conservative? Very conservative with people they don't know.
The fetish is not going to fucking help then.
No, but the longer you get to know them, and the closer you get to the Asian woman, she will start.
Asking about their income.
Yeah, she'll open up, but it takes time. It's not like a Latin American girl. If they're into you, a lot can happen.
They'll let you know.
A lot can happen.
Let you know, dog.
By the end of the first date, a lot can happen. I'll just say that much.
Oh yeah, but there was one other thing I forgot to say about what's going to be happening here going into phase 2. The gatherings have increased. Instead of just 10 people, it can now go up to 50 people for gatherings.
Any social gathering.
Yeah, any gathering, whether it's public, private, 50.
Well, I hope it all works out.
Oh, it's going to. And Governor Lee's still landed himself in some pretty hot water over Tennesseans. They're not going to forget what he did by using TDOT to collect data on people before he went from the safer at home to a stay at home. Ooh, Tennesseans are still not happy about it. They are livid, and rightfully so.
I saw how tiny the chip is that they're trying to put in children in Europe. It looks like a split pea or half the size of a split pea.
What the fuck?
I'm just saying, you can, with a little bit of microwave radiation or exposure to radiation or a magnet, you can render that chip useless.
And that's the nanotechnology, I guess, is responsible for the chip being that small. But yeah, in other words, if you have an industrial power magnet and you place it over where the chip is, let's say they force a chip on a person, or you know where your child was chipped. You put that industrial magnet right over that area.
Yeah. Oh, and let me go ahead and explain it to Mike. What I told you, how Corona and 5G, I was able to figure out exactly how they both equal 666, and how they both are the mark of the beast. Okay, Corona, Crona, 6 letters. Now, if you take every single letter, Corona, you get the number 66. So 666 for Corona. Now 5G equals double 666. Okay, 5G. The number 5 plus 1 letter equals 6. The base gigahertz that it operates at is 6 gigahertz. Now the big towers, they have 24 pieces on 4 different platforms. 24 divided by 4 equals 6. There's the first 666. All right. Now going back to the second one. All right. 5G, 5 plus 1 letter equals 6. Same. Or no, this one's different. If you take the company that's the biggest pusher of 5G technology, the Chinese company, I forget how you pronounce it. I would say Huawei or something like that. Huewei,
Yes.
6. Take the year that it was founded, 1987. 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7. Divide that by 4, you get 6.25. Well, since that's less than 6.5, you round down. So there you go, 666.
666. There you go. How about that? It's incredible. Numerologist, mathematician.
I got a beer to review for y'all.
Go ahead.
This is I don't think it's 6.66 ABV or 666 IBUs, but this is a Nowadays Blonde Ale by Allagash. Allagash Brewing Company is amazing. They're known for their white, their Allagash white. So you've probably seen that. 5.5% ABV. It's not a blue bottle. It's not a green bottle. It's not even a brown bottle. It's a can of craft beer.
Yeah, their artistry on their label needs improvement, though.
Well, I feel that's pretty sufficient. I mean, it looks like somebody used the app Procreate, and then they kind of just shared it to the label. But
looks like a beach. It looks like a beach chair. Yeah. And
well, yeah, it's a sessionable ale. It's a sessionable ale.
Oh, that's why they got that blonde ale. So you could suck a lot of these down on a hot summer day.
Well, a nice hot girl is sucking something else, but
girls,
Two-finger whitehead. I think it's orange. It's an orange beer, man. They are decreasing their fucking yellow beers now. I think yellow beers got just so much hatred and so much dissonance that now even the more yellow beers are now looking a little bit more saturated and more loaded with flavor, more loaded with hops. I think the more orange it is, the hoppier it is in general. The more yellow
it could be the malt that they use too, or sometimes you can get that orange hue if it's not particularly filtered. So they might not filter it as much.
Yeah, so I'd say that this is unfiltered too. With the Bubbles Dark Knight Rising, I'd say that this is good old non-pasteurized shit.
So like draft beer? Okay. So more like a draft beer. Is it like ice filtered or ice brewed, or do they do any cold packaging of the beer that make it like a draft beer?
I think it's ice brewed because it feels a lot like a draft beer that way. It's very cold.
Okay.
It's very cold. It's very icy. It's very low in temperature. It's not just because I put it in the freezer. I feel like this is very low in temperature in general. I can't see the sediment, but I am willing to say, based off Gary's, Damien's, sorry,
it's okay.
Damien's take, that this is unfiltered. The aroma, like lemon, pinchy, some sort of nice lemony, pinchy, vibey, malty goodness. It's like really piney. It's almost like a lot of beers have this really cool concrete mouthfeel to them, and I know that might sound weird, but the concrete mouthfeel, concrete. Yeah, concrete.
I never licked concrete before. I would have no idea.
Me neither. Me neither. We should be best friends. But
but if you lick concrete, by the time you're done, there'll be like a big cinder block on the tip of your nose or the tip of your tongue.
I know
It's
Eric always says crackery breadiness. Biscuit. It tastes like a biscuit.
crackery. It's really crackery and breadery, man. On that
Breadery?
better note. On that better note. All
Biscuit.
right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Cheers.
Yeah, he don't. I sent him an invitation, but he don't show up on our Friday show
In a
anymore.
bad mood again.
Wait, who'd you send an invitation to?
Eric
Kornfelder.
Kornfelder.
Oh, he probably won't join. Oh well, if he don't, he don't.
Presto, fruit at the front, bitterness at the back end, even though zero IBU. Zero IBU, you can still get bitterness ting to it. Good lacing, good seaside feel. Really like the jelly on this. You know, you're getting an apricot feel to this beer, so you do get an apricot rush. That creates a bit of a jelly aspect, even though it's not 6%. Bubbles, dark, not rising. It's thick on the mouth feel. It has a bit of a nice dry finish because it has some likeness to a it's a blonde ale, but I think somebody mentioned something like a Belgian before earlier in this stream. I think James did. What I will say, it's not quite Belgian, but it still has the dryness of a European ale.
Now the word jelly, does that just mean a fruity aroma and flavor? Is that what it means?
Yeah. It basically means that they may have added apricot, natural apricot, not preservatives because it's beer, but they inundated it with apricots, and that's one of my favorite fruits. And if you go to Trader Joe's has fucking apricots, and you can buy a whole box of apricots.
They're very nutritious. They're good for you. I like apricots.
Apricots may be my favorite fruit.
Well, they're not my absolute favorite, but I used to get the dried apricots, and I used to get the California Black Mission figs. The figs, look, one of the highest potassium, and dates. I love dates, especially the big ones.
Dates are awesome.
They call them
I like taking the lady out.
dates. Megdul or Megdul. They're really big, jumbo.
McDowell.
But yeah, MGDOW. But they have a very high nutritional value. A lot of fiber, a lot of potassium. Yeah, they're good. But the apricots have beta carotene.
So when you're drinking a craft beer, if you're getting apricots, then you're basically, and I think Damien may agree on this. I keep saying fucking Garrett. Why the fuck do I keep saying Garrett?
You said Damien.
And why the fuck do I keep saying fucking Garrett?
No, that's a rabbit.
If
That's
you're getting
funny
apricots,
rabbit
then you're
thing.
getting fiber. If you're getting apricots in beer, then you're getting fiber from your beer.
No. There's no fiber in beer. You're getting the flavor of apricots. Now you go into. Is there pulp in there?
There's no pulp. I'm gonna give this one a 97 out of 100. This one is a 97 out of 100. Every single Allagash beer that I've had. One beer I had, I gave it a low rating before. I upticked the rating way up the next time, and now every Allagash beer that I have it just blows my mind. This is a 97 out of 100. It's a 9 out of 10. So
great. So Allagash is no Boulder Dash.
What?
I says Allagash is no Boulder Dash. It's an old word.
Oh, my bad.
It means poppycock.
Wait, what?
Bullshit, nonsense. You're not. It's good. It's a good word. No, I mean it's a bad.
I love the word nonsense.
Yeah.
I love the word nonsense.
No. I says Allagash is a good company. Is what I'm trying to say.
Is such a good company. Let me get the description on this. It says and I'm not just going to give a high rating. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say that every beer deserves an A+. If I think something deserves a B- or even lower, I'm going to give that. It's just that a lot of beers have been A pluses recently, and this one is orange. And when I see that an ale is orange, even though it could have been yellow and disgusting, I think that they are hopifying it more. And as Damien said, that they are leaving it a little bit more unfiltered. So uh, here's the description. Not non-pasteurized. Here's the description. Create time today to lean. Create time today to lean far back in your chair, relax, refresh with a Belgian style. It is a Belgian beer. Holy shit. Belgian style blonde ale brewed like a refined lager now a day. And what is so awesome about that, this could totally wane you off of premium lagers, and it could definitely get you to. I mean, I'm not going to stop my Modelo. I'm not going to stop my days of Modelo, James. Hell no. I love that beer too.
Well, I love the company. I like their products, Modelo.
I love it. I love it too, man. But I feel like this is going the way of Modelo because they know what they're doing. They know not just how to market, but they also know how to actually make the fucking. They know how to brew the fucking thing.
Well,
what is it with all these yellow beers?
Well, that's why it's called craft beer. Now, Modelo, I've had Sol, I've had Pacifico,
What do you think of Sol?
I wasn't impressed. I've had Tecate.
Ooh, Tecate. I love Tecate.
Tecate is too light for me. It's like super duper light. Yeah, like I like
have it at my supermarket where I work.
I like Dos Equis Lager and Dos Equis Ambar.
Oh, Dos Equis Ambar. Oh yeah.
And I like Modelo Especial and Negro Modelo.
Yeah, I've had Negro Modelo, but out of all my favorites, probably my personal favorite's the Corona Familiar.
Corona Familiar. What's that?
All right. Well, the Familiar is the highest in alcohol out of all the different Corona beers. I think it's 4.8, and the IBUs are probably around 20. So you're going to get like a full flavor Mexican lager taste because you got the Familiar at 4.8, you have the Extra at 4.6, then you have the Light, I think, at 4.2, then you got the Premier, which is the Ultra Light, I believe, also at like 4.2, 4.1, something like that. Now, the Premier, I was not impressed with it at all. I couldn't tell, like, with Michelob Ultra, they're almost like the same beers. The ultralight beers, they're just like, you can't tell if they're water trying to be beer or beer trying to be water. It's why I don't drink the ultralights. But Corona Light, I mean, not really. The Corona Premier is dull, dull, dull. It's like sparkling water with a ghost hint of beer flavor. Now, the Corona Light...
I'd rather just have a LaCroix.
Right. Then the Corona Light, it tastes just like Corona Extra, just lighter. Then regular Corona just tastes like beer. And then the Corona Familiar, it has a little bit of a different taste. So it has 4.8 ABV, and they have the 20 IBUs more than likely. But if you look at it, it's a darker color as compared to the Extra. So I assume they might slightly roast the malt, just slightly, because when you taste it, it's got just a slight roastiness, almost like the regular Coors Banquet, which is a little odd, but still they pull it off pretty well.
Damien, what's the deal with yellow beer? Why is some beer looking like somebody just went to the bathroom?
Okay, so a lot of that particular style of beer comes from Western Europe, particularly of German immigrants when they migrate over to the United States. So they wanted to go with a lager or an ale to where it had that nice, almost like a light gold or light straw color. Well, when they came over to America and they used the malt that was growing over here in America, it was producing the same type of color, but it was a bit murky, a bit hazy, and it wasn't looking crystal clear. So what they did was they used the same malt, but they, instead of using the same amount of malt, they introduced grains like corn or rice or whatever. So that way, whenever it was done brewing, it would produce the crystal clear colors. So the color of beer comes from the malt. So if you want a light beer, you'd use probably something like pale malt. If you want like a regular lager or an ale, you use just regular old barley malt. Now, if you want
I thought
a
light pale malt always goes to orange beers. I thought that's an orange beer malt.
well, you have pale malt, but then yet you have beers that, or you have malt that actually looks pale, like a pale straw or like a pale gold. Now, as I was saying, you can use regular malt for regular lagers or ales. That usually produces like a light gold, light straw, not pale but light, or sometimes it can produce like a deep golden, deep straw with a slight orange hue. Now, if you want to go more to like the brown or the copper or the amber, you'd have to use toasted malts. Particularly, you could use caramel malt, which is probably the most popular, or you could just roast the malt to where it looks that particular color. Now, if you want to go to the darker end of the spectrum, you can use dark roasted malt for a porter or a stout. That's when they really roast the malt and almost like burn them where they're almost like char. And that's why you get like that either light brown, dark brown, or almost like a black, and in certain light, like a ruby red or some color like that. So that's where
I'm
it
sorry to
comes
interrupt
from. It all
again,
comes from the malts.
I'm sorry to interrupt again, but how do you determine what malt should go into each beer? Because I feel like if you look at a Coors, even though even Coors can be good, just it's very yellow. It looks kind of like I've already drank it. But a beer that's orange, as James said, even a beer that looks orange is almost daunting in a way. So how do you know
Yeah,
how can you tell which malt that you need to use? Because you wouldn't want to do a yellow IPA. Hell no,
right.
that nobody would buy that shit.
Right. Well, you get it primarily from the particular malts. So you look for what color the malts are and what you're looking for in the beer. Now, certain malts also give off different taste profiles as well. So
Right.
if you also notice with IPAs, so yeah, they might use a pale malt or a regular malt, but why it has that orange hue is it's not filtered. So that's why they're so murky,
Oh,
so hazy. They're not filtered. Now, with a
wait,
regular
they're hazy though?
American beer, the reason why it's like there's no orange hue to it and why it looks so clear and golden is, like I said, they use malt, they use grains, and they're filtered as all hell. So that's just part of the beer brewing process. Now, there are different ways you can filter beer. You can actually filter it through a like a skimmer, or you can also use like a regular filter, or you could add in something. I don't know particularly what it's called. It's like a coagulant to where if it's
Coagulant.
at a certain point in the brewing process, it will clear up the beer. Now, what you see in IPAs, what makes them so hazy is IPAs are so focused on the hops. So they don't want to filter it through to get like the hop resin or the little hop sediments or whatever sediment is left. Because you filter the malt sediment, the yeast sediment, and any hop sediment. So when you have all that left over and you don't want to filter it, that's where you get the orange hue, and particularly IPAs from.
Right. Oh, so they don't leave all that pasteurized, unnatural bullshit in it. They actually make sure that that fucking clear gets out of the way of the beer. And
Right.
what we're talking about is really saturation. We'll really talk about
Hmm.
saturation, kind of superficial things, but I
Right.
feel like that really makes a difference in the beer because probably Damien, the more yellow it is, the thinner it is on the palate, and
It
the
is. That and it's more
definitely better it
filtered.
is.
So yeah, you're right.
Ooh, that the more
So
yellow it is, the weaker the beer is.
well, yes and no. I mean, you can have a beer that,
But what if
looks
you hate it?
yellow, but in aroma and flavor, it might be pretty tasty, like Still Reserve. it produces a nice golden color, but they use a lot of malt, a lot of fermentable sugars, grains, and hops. That's why it looks like that, but they still filter it. But, I mean, it looks amazing. The which one?
What about the blue one, Damien?
The blue one.
The fucking blue Steel Reserve.
Oh, you mean the Steel Reserve Alloy series, the flavored ones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they take a beer base and they process it in a way to where it's colorless, flavorless, and odorless. I don't know exactly how they do it. I have really no interest in making one. But once they do the beer base and they process it a particular way, then they add in the flavorings and the colors. They either add in natural or artificial colors and flavors. That's why it gives it that particular color and that particular flavor. It's basically just flavored beer. That's all it really is.
Flavored beer. Now, I have to disagree with some people in the beer community about how Hefeweizen is a flavored ale. I don't think it's a flavored ale. I think it's just an ale that's different.
Well, it's flavored in a. Well, it's flavored in a not so strict sense. So, like, yeah, they're not using artificial colors or flavors, but when you're using particular grains and malts, like I know with Hefeweizens, they use wheat as the primary malt. So if you use certain wheat strains, same thing with different malts, different hops, different yeast, you can get a lot of different flavor characteristics with just those ingredients. That's why a lot of people like PBR, and why PBR is an exceptional American lager, because, yeah, they might use the traditional malts and hops that any other American beer might use, but they use a particular yeast strain called Carlsberg yeast. That's why it has like a little bit of a different sort of taste. Some people say it's like a wine note or it's like some other type note. I don't get that particular flavor from it. I will say over the years they've modified the taste of PBR. Now it tastes like beer that's been filtered through a bong, so to say. It almost has like a grassy weediness, almost like you're smoking pot.
Filtered through a keg, like filtered through a keg. Like you ever have somebody like dare you to drink a whole keg of beer at one time?
No, but I do know how to chug, and I'll get to that here in a second. If you want to learn how to chug safely, not stupidly, but I'll get to that. Now, you were talking about pasteurization. So, you can pasteurize your beer. What you do is, after it's brewed, you can boil the beer to kill off any bacteria that might be, attached to the malt, the hops, the yeast, whatever. Now, Miller Genuine Draft and Miller High Life. Well, that's what I was going to get to show my point. I'm sure all of us here have heard of Miller High Life and Miller Genuine Draft.
I like Miller.
All right.
But what are you going to say, though?
Well, that's what I'm getting ready to get to. It's the same beer, just presented two different ways. Miller High Life is pasteurized. Miller Genuine Draft is cold filtered. So if you go somewhere and you see Miller High Life on draft, it's Miller Genuine Draft.
Wait, so what's the process again? So pasteurized versus non-pasteurized. Pasteurized, you
boil the beer to pasteurize it. That's to kill off any bacteria. A lot of American beers are pasteurized. Now, Miller Genuine Draft is cold filtered. It's never pasteurized. So you could store Miller High Life warm and it not spoil, but if you store a cold filtered or draft beer other than cold, it has the potential for spoiling because they use a whole entire different process. But yeah, Miller Genuine Draft and Miller High Life are the same beer. The only difference is High Life is pasteurized, Genuine Draft is cold filtered, but if you see Miller High Life on draft, it's Miller Genuine Draft.
I like Miller, I like Modelo, but you were going to say something about how we're so sterile that now the beer community is going to become this intensely pasteurized business. I
Yeah.
can't fathom that, man.
Well,
I don't believe in. I like for instance, I believe in certified raw milk as more nutritional value. You know,
Hell yeah.
so I'd rather go with the cold filtered.
yeah,
Can you get
but
vitamin D from milk, James?
Huh?
Can you get vitamin D from milk or no?
Well, they add it. You get vitamin A and D from liver, beef liver. Yeah, and eggs. I think egg yolks have it, but no, they add it to the milk.
yeah, hold that thought. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
No, stay.
I'll
Go
hold.
to the bathroom in front of us. Stay. No, I'm just kidding. Stay.
No, if you gotta go, you gotta go, man. Yeah.
Oh man, but James, what's your take? I mean, on the one hand, you have a lot of people who are advertising, like I do on my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel, I have stopped doing all of these pre-processed but also unhealthy foods. Even if it's pre-processed, I'm trying to do it from a health option like Trader Joe's. And I don't know if you've seen that, but if you see my channel now, it's all, if it's not beer, it's health food reviews. Why do some people cling to the Tysons of the world? You know, even Marie Callender's. I checked out Marie Callender's the other day.
I wouldn't buy that shit. Marie Callender,
Really?
frozen foods. It's garbage.
I thought it was a health food option.
No, it's garbage. It's garbage.
Still no fucking good. How can you win? How can you win?
You know what, Banquet?
James with your fucking with your fucking charming complexion.
Listen,
with your lack of acne. How do you win?
Marie Callender and Banquet, frozen dinners. Just like there was a company called Encore. Marie Callender. Where'd you go?
Oh no, I'm still here. I'm getting a beer.
Marie Callender. Let's take their chicken. Let's take their chicken or beef pot pies.
Okay.
Okay. What happened is Marie Callender started putting less chicken in the chicken pot pie and more potatoes, which is cheap filler. So you can't, there's not that many pieces of chicken in the Marie Callender pot pie. The same thing with Banquet. So
I thought there was plenty of chicken.
I like the Trader Joe's. They have a good meat pie, where you get. Yeah, the Trader.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The Trader Joe's puts a decent amount of meat in the meat pie, but if you get a nationally advertised meat pie from a supermarket, it's loaded with potatoes, carrots, and peas, and mostly potatoes. So, and not that much meat. That's what I was trying.
Oh, pot pies. Oh, it's been a while since I've had a pot pie.
They're when they're a good quality one, they're damn great. I mean, the Irish, I think they mostly come from Ireland, England.
Marie Callender?
No. The invention of the meat pie came from I don't want to say United Kingdom because they really hate the English, but
don't make a ban, yo ass.
It comes from that part of the world. The British
right.
Isles, yeah. I don't even want to say British Isles. The Irish would get very upset. It comes from that part of the world. Let's put it that way.
Right. But yeah, I've had different pot pies, but surprisingly, one of the best ones I ever had was KFC's pot pie. I didn't think they were going to be all that good, to be honest, but surprisingly, they were really damn good.
You know what used to be really good? Boston Market's chicken pot pie or turkey pot pie.
Then, we don't have a Boston Market around here, surprisingly.
Well, KFC's pot pie is not bad, to be honest.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. It's not, but Boston Market.
market where you're at. You're in Tennessee. Tennessee is almost mid-Atlantic region.
Yeah. Why would they have a Boston? You're right. But KFC, pot pies. I've had them. Many times. They're decent. But some companies.
Well, what's wrong with Marie Callender's?
Don't make me tell the story again. There's no meat in it. Where's the beef? Remember the old lady? Where's the beef? There's no. Look at his hair. Hold on. Make it a shot.
You look like you just got done with a night of drinking and you just rolled out of bed just for more. What does that hair look like?
You know what he does?
Fucking 24/7, dude.
While he's talking, he's fluffing it up. And he doesn't realize it. No, it was sticking straight up. It looked like the troll. You know those little troll dolls with the hair.
Oh.
All right. Here's what's gonna fucking happen. I knew that this would happen because
What?
at some point my appearance would be discussed.
No, you're okay now.
Oh.
Just supercuts conditioner. Just
No. Don't put any pomade in your hair. What is that?
Pomade.
What is that? A gel?
That's some fucking pomade. That's some fucking pomade for the hair.
Hold on.
Oh my god. You just made it worse. You made it worse.
Brill cream, a little
I almost look like Trump.
Oh no. Oh hell no. Hell no.
Everything looks so great. I'm talking
No,
like Trump.
you
I'm fucking retarded. But
I think
this looks great. I've had some people say maybe they choked a little bit when they
What
said
is that,
it,
Paul Mitchell? What is that? Nexus? Paul Mitchell? What is that? Oh, Paul, I was right.
Conditioner. I got a haircut from Supercuts in the Soma. I love South of Market, San Francisco. Look up that neighborhood. South of Market, San Francisco. I got a nice haircut from a great Asian lady. Fucking Asian fetish again. Fuck me. But it's I got it from
about fetishes after he's done.
Well, I do my own hair. What little I've got.
Yeah, Paul Mitchell's a good company.
Mitchell. They're good, man. It lasts as long as a haircut. I've not had to get a haircut for like months. And all I did was go to fucking Supercuts, man. And this haircut has lasted me a long time. People are still saying, did you get it? And it's like, no, I did not get a fucking haircut. This is still the same.
Well, shaving cream and a razor does this, so.
Supercuts is closed by me. Actually, all the hair salons.
What by you?
All the hair salons are not open.
Well, I mean, if you want to take a trip down here to Tennessee, ours are open.
Yeah,
or if you can't get to Tennessee,
I have a buzzer. I have a buzzer and an apron and all that. I have the kit.
James, I'm not gonna get a haircut from you, man. What are you talking about?
I'll have my sister buzz me outside or something, or my friend Cheryl. She said she would.
I'll get a haircut from your sister, but not from you.
No, I'm gonna. Why you want to? You want me to go 3,000 miles for a haircut?
Desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess.
Well, Jay Terrio got one of those little, small. They're the new trimmers that they advertise for men.
Holy shit! Ronald got a fucking haircut.
No, he did it himself.
Holy fucking shit, man!
He did it himself.
Here's what I did. I took shaving cream and a razor, and I did this, and I've not regretted it since. Yep, you just put some shaving cream on, you get a razor, and you just whoop. It's so easy to maintain. All you gotta do is just get the razor good and hot, get the nice hot steamy shower going, and whoop, just shave it all off. That's what I do.
And you don't have to worry about fixing your hair. You just roll out of bed and you're.
Yeah, what I do is I shave in the sink because I don't have one of those socket mirrors to put in the shower. And besides, I'd probably get too steamed up and fogged up for me anyway. So I shave in the sink, then I hop in the shower, put on the shaving cream and the razor, and then just go right to it.
I got the sucker mirror from the Dollar Tree. It's on the tiles. No, you got to wipe it with your hand when it fogs. You just go like this.
Too much work. I'm just like, if I can just do it here in the sink and then hop in the shower, I'll be fine. But whenever I actually shave, I get all over. Like I get my neck, I get all the way on the sides, and I'm able to even get. Yeah, I can even get behind my ears. I can get all that as well. Yep, I can get back there. I can go all the way around. Yep, I've got it down to a science now.
Because my mother told my grandfather one time, you have to get your ears. You have to get your ears. I got a beer review for you guys. This is Cigar City Brewing. It is their Palmoa Goes. It's a Goza, and it is clocking in, I think, at 4 point.
Let me see what it is.
I think it's 5% ABV. But Cigar City.
You're not showing it to us.
Wait. Cigar City. I'm trying to get
I want to see the can.
I'll show you guys the can in a second. Oh wait. Oh shit. This is a Goza by Cigar City.
Goza.
Goza. It's a dry German sour, and it's called Palomota Goza, clocking in at 4.2% ABV with 5 IBUs. It gets 4 out of 5 stars on Untappd. Cigar City, man. Cigar City is known for their. Wait, I have this beer. I'll show you guys. I have it for my collection. It'll actually.
My.
German sour? You say German sour or something?
Yeah, German sour. I don't like sour beers. I'll drink them, but I don't like them.
I don't think I have a Jai Lai anymore.
I really like Killian's Irish Red. I like the Reds.
Oh yeah, Killian's Irish Red. Oh yeah.
Red ales are really cool. Using so chilled snifter glass.
Now you call this the German sour. What, a Pilsner or just called the German sour?
It's just a German sour Goza ale. And,
all sour ale.
Sour ale.
It's a dry ale.
Cigar City, Paloma Goza. All right, got you. Oh, that looks.
Cigar City, Paloma Goza.
That looks nice.
Orange. So I'll say unfiltered, 1 finger white head, bubble stock not rising. You can even see toward the bottom here, because it's a little bit more exposed than toward the top here. Toward the top here is a little bit more dense, thick. Toward the bottom is a little bit more luminescent. So you can tell it's pretty much an unfiltered ale. Carbonation, bubbles, dark not rising. 4.2% ABV, so I'm not getting into too much trouble tonight, man. I'm not getting too wasted, at least on this beer.
Well, the other ones you had. The other ones you had.
Well, I think I can at least respond to other people around me, even if it's not in complete sentences.
Oh, you're allowed to get drunk on this show. On this one.
Relief. That is relief. That is relief. I wouldn't want your audience on that other show to see this right now, but
yeah, not Sunday, but tonight you can go hog wild.
I'm sorry, I was already wasted when I joined.
No, forget about the past. Continue with the review. Forget about the past.
High body beer. I think it's unpasteurized. This is no sterile ass beer, man. This is a pure beer. This is a pure beer all the way. help the immune system. Let's get the aroma. Okay, so licorice. I don't know. I'm getting this very. If you took like fruit punch and you added hops to it. So if you took fruit punch and hops, put them in a beer, kind of goes like that.
Really? There's no malty. There's no malty detection.
Not getting it. You know, James, I'm not getting much malt on this one, man. I'm not getting that much malt on it.
But I like.
Actually, I am a little bit. I am a little bit, but let's get into it. Cheers.
So yeah, I like hops. I like the flavor of hops, but it's very hoppy, right?
I think that's where Damien had some dissonance there because Goza is not a very hop forward category. It's more kind of yeast forward. It's more kind of. It's not even malt forward, really. It's more kind of yeast forward care. You know, John Anilli of Georgia Beer Reviews, he tries to check out Gozas a lot. So we celebrate Florida's citrus history and the classic cocktail of Mexico with Paloma Goza, a playfully tart beer. This is from Trader Joe's, by the way. A playfully tart beer that unites bright grapefruit flavor. I'm not really getting grapefruit, man. Tart acidity, not getting that, and a pinch of salt to create a uniquely refreshing beer. But so far, what I've gotten is just really pinchy fruit juice, man. Really, really pinchy fruit juice.
Okay.
All right.
It's weird. It's really weird. I didn't get the same kick that I got from the Golden Ale, from the Nowadays. I'm crazy about that one. I can't wait for the next Allagash beer that I can get my hands on. My Joe Biden hands on. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, please don't.
I watched his video with Stephen Colbert on Facebook. You know, when he was from remote location doing his late show. And
you know, some people used to campaign from their backyard or something like that.
Yeah, can you see me campaigning from the backyard, especially mine? People be rolling down the hill. They'd be like, "Yeah, we're rolling down the hill." Yeah, that would not work very well for me.
Dress up like Dudley Do-Right, the Royal Canadian Mounted. You know, the what was that red uniform? Remember that cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dimple.
James, you should run for office, man.
Who, me? Me run for office?
You guys should both run for office.
Well, I don't know if I don't know. I might not. I don't really know.
You can run if you run with a progressive organization. Don't run as a Dem.
Well, I would probably run as an independent, but it'd be like independent socialist or something.
Yeah. That would be good because you don't want to have anybody giving you the riot act from the DNC.
Honestly, fuck the DMC. But speaking of socialist and socialist organizations, I don't know if I told you, Mike, but I told James about this. So the other night, I decided to join a socialist gun organization called the Socialist Rifle Association. They were founded in 2013. They have chapters in all 50 U.S. states. I joined the Tennessee. Yeah, they have them in California. They have them in New Jersey. They have them in all 50 U.S. states. One of the higher ups, one of the ones who writes the articles and keeps people in the loop of things. Her name is Ashlyn. I think she lives in either L.A. or San Francisco.
Ashlyn, don't fuck with a girl named Ashlyn. Hell no.
So the main office is in California.
No, well, she is the one who usually sends out stuff for like if there's any changes or if there's like weekly updates, whatever. Then she's the one who sends them out. But I think it was founded in Kansas, of all places.
Really?
Kansas is trending a little bit fucking blue, dude. It's becoming a little bit more blue.
Kansas?
Well,
I thought it was a red. I guess. You will.
Well, I joined the Tennessee chapter. I'm going to see if there's a local chapter here in Kingsport, and if there aren't, then I guess I will start the Eastern Tennessee chapter if there are any, and particularly the one in Kingsport. But yeah, they're up to 5,000 members now.
And I'm sure that it's going to get much higher than that.
Yeah, and another reason why I decided to go with the Socialist Rifle Association instead of like Gun Owners of America or the National Rifle Association is I'm just sick of the liberal versus conservative narrative on guns, and I just wanted something different. I wanted something for a change, something that really was truly a true leftist gun organization.
Well, you'll be amongst like-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And well, I sent you that audiobook of Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto. Where do you think I got it from? Oh, by the way, did you listen to it?
Not yet, but the audio link is in for Monday's show. I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen to it at least if not later on tomorrow.
Well, just listen to the whole thing. I mean, it's only an hour and a half by the audiobook. So it's not super long, but man, whenever you read or listen to the entire thing and you hear that last quote, "Working men of the working class unite," you're going to be like, man, what a truly revolutionary word. Now, remember, that was written back in 1848.
That was before the Civil War, I think, or
yeah,
at the same time.
Yeah. I know, well, see, Karl Marx was born in 1818 and he died in 1883. But that was his pinnacle work, was the Communist Manifesto. And another popular series of works by him is Das Kapital in 3 volumes. Then his lifelong comrade, Friedrich Engels, who also helped co-write the Communist Manifesto, his pinnacle work is Socialism, Utopian, and Scientific. Now, the title seems a little misleading of that what they're trying to establish is their brand of socialism, it's scientific and utopian, when in reality, it's a differentiation of the critique of utopian socialism versus scientific socialism, how utopian is very idealistic and unrealistic, but their form of socialism, it has a scientific method to it. And why scientific socialism is so much better because of the scientific basis of it as compared to utopian.
All right. Well, this will be a good topic for Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're going to be really bashing capitalism to get to rile up the people. I guess we have a plan, a series.
Yeah, we do. But when you read the two, you'll notice Karl Marx writes a certain way and that Friedrich Engels writes a certain way. See, Karl Marx writes in a particular way of he presents it in a intellectual premises, but he keeps it very simple and down to earth while at the same time getting you thinking. Friedrich Engels is not really like that. Friedrich Engels presents it in the intellectual apparatus as well, but he doesn't necessarily break it down and make it a bit more simple, down to earth. You got to really look into it, and you really got to read more of like Friedrich Engels' works.
Yeah, he took over where Karl Marx left off, is what you're saying.
Well, that and it's just their writing styles. I mean, they wrote their own separate works, but they also helped co-write each other's works as well.
Okay. All right, let's see. I see a new beer there, young man.
Oh yeah, just that last. I agree with Damien. I don't Damien. I agree with him about sour and just goes whatever. I've reviewed this beer before, back when I was really fucked up, a little bit less fucked up now. I would like to think this is Bosun HLV heavy lift vessel.
Boatman. I've seen that.
You've seen it. Where have you seen it? Where have you seen it?
From you.
See what you did there. 7% ABV. 80 IBUs. 80 fucking IBUs on this beer, guys.
Ooh.
Boy, his hair's really sticking up now.
The hair is really agreeing with the beer lineup tonight.
Well, what is that now? Is that like a brown ale?
This is an American Strong Ale.
American Strong Ale?
Oh, with 80 IBUs, I'd say that has to be pretty strong. What's the ABV on it again?
7%.
7%, 80 IBU. I would assume that's probably more hop forward and more hoppy than like a traditional strong ale.
It is so fucking hoppy, dude. It's like you take, oh my god, you take Racer 5 and you take like a Newcastle Brown Ale, combine them, and you got a baby. Or you combine them with the, I feel like we derailed your beer review, Damien.
Oh no, it's just when you said 7%, I know it's kind of like a good rule of thumb is if you want to have an ideal balance, for every like 1% of alcohol, you have like 10 IBU. So I mean, like if it was 7%, you'd probably want more like 70, not 80.
This is 80. This is 80 IBU. I don't know why it's 80 IBU on 7%. I guess it's just more maltier and hoppier, but you're saying something else. Let's put Damien up for a second, because
let me see the can. Let me see.
Here's, but so long as we show Damien after, because
yeah,
he's making a good fucking point. But here's HLV Ale. James, you're doing a fucking awesome job hosting this, as usual. By the way, you're fucking awesome, dude.
Thank you.
Here's both.
Heavy.
You're welcome.
Heavy.
I don't know why they call
vessel.
Heavy lift vessel. It's so weird. They call it boson. They pronounce it as boson, even though it's boatswain. And if you look at boatswain, that's pretty much in line with heavy lift vessel. A heavy lift vessel. If you look at a half submersible could carry a destroyer. A half submersible, that's a heavy lift vessel. It could carry a whole destroyer. So
the name of my whistle is called the boatswain's whistle. When it has to do with a ship, sailors.
Wait, let's see the whistle, James.
Well, the boatswain's whistle is how old that invention is? It goes back to the Crusades with the English Navy, back to the 1200s during the Crusades.
Let's see the whistle. Show us the whistle.
Oh, all right.
Show me
All right. But yeah, it looks like that's actually pretty good now. I mean, if it's that hoppy and that, well, I mean, if it's that high on the IBUs and that high of an ABV, some might argue that could potentially be an IPA.
Yeah, but why? Sometimes I see the IBU. It looks like it's higher than the ABV. What's that about?
All right, now IBU stands for International Bitterness Units. Now, yeah, so there's a weird way of determining a beer's IBUs. It comes from the hop bitterness, but there's also any perceived external bitterness outside of the hops, like let's say for like dark roast in the malt for a porter or a stout, you get that extra perceived bitterness, but then yet it could be very balanced in terms of the malt, the hops, but then yet the IBUs could be like 40, 50, 60, 70, but then it doesn't come across as hoppy, but then yet you got that extra perceived bitterness of dark roasting the malt. Now, seeing that color, I would assume they would roast the malt to a certain extent because that is like copper red. I would call it like
Do
a
you like
copper
it?
red color. Yeah, it looks very visually appealing for an ale. But
Oh yeah.
you'll notice sometimes if you use a lot of malt, which to get up to 7%, you're going to have to use a lot of malt and a lot of fermentable sugars. Sometimes if you use too much malt, even if you filter it, sometimes it
Too
takes
much
on a
malt. Wait,
color
too much
like
malt.
that.
There's such a thing as too much malt.
Oh, yeah. And I'll explain how. Sometimes if you use too much malt and you use too many fermentable sugars, sometimes they turn that color. No matter how much you try to filter it, it will not get that color out. So it's a strong ale, 7%, probably lots of malt, lots of fermentable sugars. They add in the extra hops because I noticed, yeah, you got the red,
Yeah, man.
copper, but you have orange. So you have like a really weird but yet visually appealing color to the beer.
It's really orangey in the aroma. I'll say that it is really orangey in the aroma.
Now for the
That's it.
hops. Now with
It's
that
like
80, all right, so I would assume, roasty with that particular color, but when that hop presence comes in, so it's really hoppy, but is the bitterness only from the hops, or does it also come from the perception of that roastiness of the malt as well?
I said that I say, guys, that the maltiness. Oh, by the way, on the Allagash, not to be rude, but talk about another beer. We have Bing 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 certified independent. But on the Boatswain, it's really roasty. It's really roasty, man.
Okay.
It's a bit barbecue flavor. It's kind of like a
Ooh.
barbecue ale. A lot of people say sessionable, but I feel like this is way more sessionable than a Sierra Nevada. A Sierra
Okay.
Nevada Pale Ale, you're going to finish it in like 5 seconds. This could last you all day. You know?
Oh, so it's a sipper.
It's a sipper. It's a
like
sipper. So I don't know what people mean by sessionable.
like a stout or a porter. You can. It's a sipper. It's a sipping beer. You don't chug like like a lot.
Well, you could, but especially if it's like an imperial style, you're looking something like 8, 9, 10%. Yeah, you chug that bad boy, you will get wasted quick. So any beer can be chuggable as long as it meets specific criteria. As long as it's somewhat balanced in its flavor, regardless of whether it's that's what I'm getting ready to get to. So, yeah, if it might be like a malt liquor or an IPA, if it's balanced and it's not rough and it's not harsh, you could chug it. Like, I decided to see could I chug a Still Reserve. So what I did was I opened up a 12-ounce can just to test it, and I put a straw in it, and in like less than 10 seconds, I was able to chug it down no problem. I was like, that's actually pretty chuggable and very dangerous at 8.1%.
Holy fuck! No, you did not chug an 8% beer. Holy
Only
fuck,
a 12 ounce, only one,
7%.
hey, only a 12-ounce can. So,
at least you did that as like a challenge video that I can see on YouTube.
no, I didn't do it as a challenge video. I decided, you know what? How chuggable is it? So I said, okay, 12 ounces at 8.1, that's not going to mess me up. So I did it, just 10 seconds, it was down. And I let out this huge burp. Didn't get me buzzed, didn't get me fucked up. I mean, I felt it, but I was like, well, okay. Do what?
That's because you're adding a lot of fake shit in it. and they say that it has to be called malt liquor. Mother, bitch, not you, but bitch, just call it beer. I mean, don't make it look all blue. Don't make it look all blue and shit. Just what the fuck
Right,
is
right.
blue beer? So
Like I
I'm
said,
sorry to bounce on that subject, but why are people brewing beer and just not calling it beer, and then they are giving it odd ass fucking colors that look like
blame the
12.
U.S. government and its regulations. If you want someone to blame and someone to get pissed off at, blame the U.S. government and its regulations because they got so many of them. It's hard to navigate through. Like why it's called malt liquor is when prohibition was repealed, they added in a lot of stuff to get it passed. That's why they established the taxation system, the three-tier system, where it's taxed federally, state, and locally. Then you had the elimination of the brewers' tap houses, because back before Prohibition, you could go to like specifically a Coors bar or a Budweiser bar or a Miller bar. Prohibition, after it was repealed, they did away with that to where you have the brewer, you have the distributor, and you have the consumers. So they established a three-tier system in that way.
Are there any bars that are going to survive this fucking lockdown?
Yeah.
Any bars that have shut down permanently?
No, not at least not around here, but we'll get to that here in a sec. But anyway, so after Prohibition got repealed, they added in a bunch of different stuff. Whenever beer companies wanted to start, when they started to compete with what was going on in Europe, see, Europe has always had strong beers, but right around that time, the strong beers started becoming more commercialized and they started to become more accepting. So the U.S. government saw that the beer brewers were starting to go ahead and make stronger beers to compete with what was going on in Europe. Well, when it came time for the approval for the label, the original labels said strong beer. But the U.S. government said no, that cannot be done because of this particular regulation. They stated anything above 5.1% ABV could not be called beer. It had to be called lager, it had to be called ale. So what the beer breweries decided to do was they resurrected an old term from way back in the day called malt liquor. And then when it came time for the approval of the new labels, for when it said malt liquor, U.S. government said, oh, well, okay. And then that went out through the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and all the way up to today. So you have two separate categories. You have regular malt liquor, which is around 5.5%, 6%. Those are like your OG malt liquors, like a Colt 45, Old English, Mickey's, Schlitz Blue Bowl, and Country Club. Those are your OG malt liquors. Now, there was introductions of other malt liquors throughout history. Some did not really catch on, so they went by the wayside. Then the 90s, you had your high gravity malt liquor craze. So here's all you do. For a malt liquor, you just add in a little bit of extra malt and a little extra fermentable sugars on a what would be considered a regular beer base. So that's why the alcohol is only like 5.5%, 6%. So they're going to taste like regular beer, but it's going to have a little extra sweetness, a little extra breadiness, a little extra hoppiness as compared to regular beer. But your high gravity stuff, like what I like to drink, Still Reserve 8.1, they add in way more malt and way more sugars to spike up the alcohol to ferment with that yeast. And then you add in more hops, and that's how you get the high gravity. Now, I don't think the regulation is enforced all that much because here recently I got a can of Still Reserve 211, the triple export 8.1%, which is a black can. It's a whole different thing. And it doesn't say malt liquor or anything on the label. Inconspicuously on the side, it says beer at 8.1. So I'm thinking either the regulation was changed, and I'm still trying to find out where it was changed, or the laws are not really enforced. Because I know last year Pabst Blue Ribbon, they introduced the Pabst Blue Ribbon Easy to get rid of the Pabst Blue Ribbon Light. Then they decided to come out with a strong version of Pabst Blue Ribbon called Pabst Blue Ribbon Extra. Well, it doesn't say extra lager, extra ale, it just says extra, and it's 6.5%. So I think they're testing the water to see just how far the regulation is still in force. But I'd say in the next 10 years, we'll be like Canada and Europe, where it'll probably just say strong beer, strong lager, strong ale, and people really won't honestly care. So yeah, that's why it's called malt liquor.
What's the yeast
The
in
yeast?
it? How much yeast do you add to the malt liquor? How do you make sure that it's actually acting like a beer? I mean,
Okay, so when you're measuring about how much yeast to put in the beer, you have to do what's called your initial gravity reading. So what it does is it tests the amount of fermentable sugars that are in the beer, which will give the potential alcohol yield. So you take your first reading before you add in the yeast to ferment to give it the alcohol. Now, once all the yeast has fermented, then you take your last gravity reading. You take the first one and the second one, and you minus it, and that gives your total ABV yield. So initially, you could start out with a beer that could potentially yield 12, 13, or 14% alcohol by volume. But once the yeast actually ferments, you might end up with something like 7, 8, or 9%. It really all just depends. It's all just a what's the potential and what actually ferments.
gotcha.
Yeah, you're learning so much about beer. Your brain just going.
Mike, Michael Hilton, this is a boatswain's whistle.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Ooh.
It's usually what they did is they invented it in the 12th century. I guess the 1200s during the Crusades, so they can communicate.
Or what?
Well, they sent signals to the people the sailors on the ship because there was a lot of noise from the wind, so they can hear it. So they had a series of,
Oh, that's loud.
There was a series. They had a series of signals based on the whistle, and I wasn't even blowing it hard. So
yeah, that whistle is loud.
One time,
blowing it hard.
Well, one time I was at the park and I blew it hard, and this big dog, a Rottweiler, escaped from its owner, had the leash flopping away from its owner. It was friendly and everything, but it hurt it, over a long distance.
Oh, God.
Park was pretty big.
So, what did the owner do whenever it found out that you blew the whistle and it made the dog come over?
Well, the dog wasn't close. I didn't see anybody walking the dog. So, the owner, I just walked away when I saw this big dog with his tongue sticking out. He was wagging his tail, but it was a big Rottweiler. And,
oh, man.
I didn't see the owner. I just walked away. I go,
yeah, I don't blame you.
Fuck out.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, I've had some pretty funny encounters with dogs, but I've never blew a whistle and all of a sudden a dog breaks away from its owner and comes running. I've never had that happen. I did have a dog, however, think it was a great idea to go into the river and start chasing ducks.
not a good idea.
Oh, funny story about that. This one I was about, how old was I when this happened? I want to say I was about 12, 13. So it was my sister's dog. She had a chocolate lab named Lola. And how old was Lola? Lola wasn't she wasn't a dog. I think she was still a puppy at this point.
Well, they're
So we
retrievers.
were at the what?
They're retrievers. They're bird dogs.
Yeah. So I think Lola was still a puppy. We were at the park in Chilhowie, and we were throwing a frisbee. You know, just to see, how high can she jump up to catch it. And man, the way she could jump up in the air and catch that frisbee was amazing. So I tossed the frisbee, and it's going to my sister. Well, midway through the frisbee going from me to her, Lola's attention shifts from the frisbee to what's over in the river as she hears the ducks quacking.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, oh no. So she's dead-eyed on the frisbee, and then less than a second later, she's dead-eyed and running to the river to get the ducks. Oh, I had to run to her to try to grab her by her collar and get her away from the ducks. Did that work? No. I ended up taking a swim in the river to catch her. I swam down this river, and God only knows what the fuck was in this river.
Yeah,
I swam
snapping
at least half a mile to a mile to get her, because she chased the ducks down the river a good ways.
Yeah, you're lucky there was no strong currents. Some, rivers usually have them.
Not there. The creeks and the rivers in Virginia are pretty they're pretty mild and pretty tame unless they're near a mountain or they're near a big water source.
From what I understand, a woman got killed by an alligator in South Carolina. I didn't know there were gators that far north.
Possibly it could have been. I don't have anything to spell now, but yeah, I swam to get Lola. I finally got her, so I had to swim back up river, and I got tired, and thankfully I was able to find some shallow spots and walk. I think probably the deepest it got was maybe up to about right here on me, but primarily when I got back upstream to where my mom and sister were, I think it was maybe just a little bit above my waist. But yeah, that was definitely an experience and definitely showed I can swim.
That dog went that far to chase the ducks.
Yeah. And I got her back to the park, got her up out of the creek. My jeans, my shirt, my shoes, my socks, everything was soaked. Completely soaked. Because before I went to go chase her, I had to take out my keys, take out my wallet, take out my phone, and just throw them off to the side and jump in the river and chase after her. But yeah, when I got out, I was soaked from head to toe, completely soaked.
So
And she's just doing this.
Yeah.
Oh. When I got her back to the park, my sister got her by the collar, gave her a good ass bus, and got her to the car, took her home, put her in the crate where she stayed for the rest of the day. So I had to when I got home, I had to take off all my clothes. I had to take off my shoes, my socks, my shorts, my underwear, my shirt, and I had to hop in the shower. And I was in the shower for at least a good 25, 30 minutes because this creek, or this river, I should call it, it was more like a river, not really a creek, but it was dirty and it was muddy. I got mud all over my shoes, my socks. It was all over my shorts and my shirt. Got in my hair and just, it was bad.
and she probably had to wash the dog too.
And yeah, that was not fun. I mean, I laugh about it now, but when it happened, it was not. It was not fun.
You
Yeah,
know?
you could just imagine me, little old. I hadn't reached my full height. I think I was only maybe 5'8" and maybe 150 pounds. So yeah, a little 5'8" me, 150 pounds, hauling ass swimming down the river to catch her.
So she kept the dog on a leash, or she kept the dog in the backyard, I guess. After that,
Yeah, and what really got her stirred up, because I think now Lola is I want to say she's like 13, 14, something like that. No, she's getting old for a dog. But what really gets her riled up now is if you say, go get the deer. If she sees a deer outside and she can't get to it, oh, it tears her to pieces. She starts doing that. She just throws a fit.
at least she's energetic at an old age,
Just, well, what are you trying to do? Wait,
Yeah. Yeah, she was wild, man. Lola was a wild dog. In her later years, yeah, she still could, but as she got older, she really mellowed out. When she was a puppy and when she was young, whew, she was wild.
Next video. Stay safe. Stay safe.
I hear Mike.
Yeah, I feel like
Boy.
I'm liking dogs a lot less now in this whole quarantine thing. Even though it's like judge every dog, and then you see a dog come up to you.
They want to go out.
Like,
They want to go out
actually
early in the morning
I like that dog.
and late at
I like
night.
that dog.
Well, luckily, I'm a night owl, so if they have to go out at like 5 or 6 in the morning, I can take them out and then go to bed. So I just don't like dogs because they're just now. I'm not old. I'm not super old, but
I don't like
even at 26, I'm just like I'm not wild. I'm not rambunctious. That's why I like cats now.
Well, cats are.
I feel like cats are a little bit less rambunctious and less crazy and less in your face than a dog will be.
Well, a dog is more.
But I feel like a dog will be a lot.
A dog is
more
higher
crazy.
maintenance.
I feel like a dog
Yeah, they
will be
are.
a lot more crazy.
A dog higher maintenance. As long as you
don't
you're
have it be in your apartment when you go out and you're away from
as long as you're able to trim,
and you don't hire a babysitter and shit.
If you win the
So
cat,
I feel like cats are better than dogs.
If you're able to
trim, quarantine.
If you're able to trim the cat's front paws,
dogs are not handling quarantine very well.
Well, they aren't.
No, James, what's your take on that? And what's your take on things like
leash
laws?
What I was trying to say was dogs are higher.
Can't hear you, buddy.
You can't hear me.
I can hear you.
I cannot hear you, dude.
What you don't? You're not hearing me? Because you froze.
Slightly.
Oh, there you are. You're not hearing me because you got to crank up your.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna leave this. Be right back.
Say I'll be right back. But anyway, what are you saying?
If you can win a cat's trust in terms of trimming its front claws. But you got to know where to cut and how. If a person doesn't know the cat and you make a cat, bleed from one of its trimmings, it'll never allow you to do it again. But you got to hold the trimmer vertically to its claw, and you got to watch. You got to look for the vessel under a bright light. You can see where the nerve and the blood vessel ends and where it hooks. And you just snip the end off. Then you don't have to worry about the cat messing up your...
Well, I think...
James. What the hell?
Well, most of the cats here in the house, they're front declawed. their back claws are still there. So that makes the battle halfway easy.
Yeah, I feel bad for them though when they. I know what you mean. Some people have that done, but
Well,
yeah,
the ones that got declawed, like our two cats, Gigabyte and Pixel, they had to be front declawed because when we still lived in the townhouse, they had to be front declawed. So that was the only reason why. Now, my wife's other cat, Bosco, he's a Russian blue. I'm not sure why they got declawed, but the old cat, Gemma, she's not declawed, although she should have been.
oh, you mean she takes a swipe at the other cats and
Yep, yep. See
yeah.
that's one thing I'm okay with declawing with some cats. Some cats, if they're like really sweet and they're very nice, they don't try to claw the shit out of you every single time you turn around, then yeah. But I mean, if they're like mean, aggressive cats to where they think that they got claws, they can take swipes at you as they damn well please, no, declaw cats like that. Because once they know they don't have the claws, they can't take the swipe at you, they become much more mellow and not aggressive anymore.
Now, if a person gets a cat when it's a kitten, then automatically, it's not going to have any aggressive feral tendencies. So then you can
Only unless you attack it. Only unless you attack it.
well, if you abuse the animal, like if somebody goes to the shelter and adopts a cat, you don't just say, "Oh, I like the way that cat looks, therefore I want that cat." You see which cat runs up to you, how it reacts to you. If the tail is doing this little playful thing up in the air, it's instead, and then you look at the ears, make sure the ears are not going down. And because some of these animals that other people owned and gave them up for adoption, you know, a lot. If a person's an asshole or abusive, the animal is going to, as they grow up with that person, is going to be affected. So then when
Yeah.
the animal's abandoned and is picked up, and goes to the shelter, they have a lot of issues.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's dog, I
Dogs too.
knew a guy had his dog, but then the dog stood next to me, next to my leg, and he stopped doing whatever he was doing, and he stood next to my side.
Oh, you mean like up against you?
Yeah, up against me, very loyal.
Yeah. I had a big ass German Shepherd do that with me. That I was in this exercise equipment business when they used to have places like that, and the guy who owned it, he was pretty popular in northern New Jersey, but he died. But anyway, he had three big German Shepherds, males, big heads on them. And I'm like on my knees, checking out some equipment, and all of a sudden I feel this big soft furry thing up against me, and I turn around and I see this big ass German Shepherd head, like twice the size of my head.
That's cool, dude. Those dogs don't fuck around, man. That's fucking awesome.
No, but it was very friendly. Dobermans can be friendly.
Yeah.
Friendly, but they need a lot of exercise.
Yeah, because they're naturally wild.
They need to run. A Doberman, you can't keep it in an apartment or indoors. They got to go out.
Yeah, they got to go out and they got to get their run in.
I knew a couple Dobermans over in upstate New York, and
Yeah, they run.
They were very friendly. So I feel like they had what you said. I feel like I got like an athletic sense.
Very smart. Both of them are very smart dogs. But now I know why they clip the Doberman's ears. they got real stupid looking floppy ears. If you don't,
Oh yeah.
They do. They do. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, James is
Even
right
though
about
I know
when
that
it
a
comes
Doberman
to
can fuck you up.
yeah, when it comes to
You
the
could get
cats
really
and
fucked
dogs.
up by a Doberman.
Yeah, when it comes to cats and dogs, and you go
What do
to
you
a
think is worse,
shelter,
a Doberman or a Rottweiler?
it could be either or, but we'll get to that here in a second. So if you're looking to adopt a cat or a dog, it's best to do a meet and greet. Now I know every shelter is
Gary.
different. What?
you're right. Meet and greet. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
absolutely.
meet and greet. So if you're looking to adopt
Can
a
you hear you,
dog or looking to
James?
adopt a
I can't
cat,
hear Damien.
I don't know what to tell you on that one. But anyway, so when you're in the kennel or in the cat area, you they give you
Fuck.
a color code that indicates which cat is what. Now, if it has a green, like a green color
James, I hear
sticker
you.
that
Do
they
not
put
however
next to the
hear
cat's
Damien.
name in the kennel, then the green usually indicates they're very mild, very friendly with others or other cats. Yellow is they may or may not be friendly with human beings or other cats, and each one is going to be different. Now, if it's red, if they have a red one beside their name, they probably are not going to
Damien, can't
be
hear you, dude.
very friendly, or maybe they're going to be very aggressive towards other human beings or other cats. Now, if it has like a number beside it, like a number 1, that's probably the worst of the worst. That means they are one human being, one cat type cats. So they're not friendly to other people or other cats. So if you adopt it, it better be just you or the cat that's going to be living in the place where this cat's going to be going. So, but every cat is different. So just because it has that color code, it doesn't really mean anything. Same thing with dogs. Because I had a cat that I did a meet and greet with that had a green sticker beside of her name. And I did the meet and greet. Man, she was like the most aggressive little shit I ever saw.
I'm so sorry.
Like, she was mean. She was clawing everything. She was tearing up everything in the meet and greet room. So I was like, no. But then, yeah, I got a cat that had a red beside of his name, and I got him in the meet and greet room. Yeah, he wasn't necessarily friendly at first, but I got him out of his shell, and he wasn't aggressive or being a dick to me after that. So it all just depends. There you go.
Oh, I hear Damien's voice on coming out of his tablet.
I
Oh,
did a
he's doing a
workaround. I
replay.
did a workaround.
Anyway, we're broadcasting fine. Yeah, if the cat comes up to you, starts rubbing up against you, purring, and the tail is up in the air, and then the cat looks really super friendly. You know what cats are supposed to have? Michael, could you lower us? I don't want to strain my vocal cords. Thank you.
There we go.
A Siamese cat is supposed to have the closest personality to a dog of all the cats. They say, and then they have a distinct, like a baby crying a meow. They have blue eyes. They have a different kind of meow. I mean sound than the other breeds. But it all depends on the person. You know, we have wild feral parrots that have escaped from their owners in Edgewater.
Oops.
And they reproduce. There's a flock of them. In the wintertime, they huddle up by the transformer, I think, up on a telephone pole.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they
Oh,
want
no.
Good place for them.
so They escaped, and we have feral parrots that live over here, right down the street in Edgewater. I hear them making parrot sounds. I look up and
G5.
So do they squawk and actually talk, or?
yeah, and you know,
That.
Wait, James. Hey, James. Do that again.
they must have,
Oh my god.
they must have had some rich yuppie owner that they hated. But, you know, usually parrots are smart animals, and they
Fucking yuppies.
and they hated their owners, and they escaped.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
And I thought Tennessee had some weird things up there. I don't know how I'd honestly be able to take it if I was up there in Edgewater, just maybe staying up there just to see what it's like up there. And I kept hearing the parrots squawking. I'd be like, oh dear God, how do you all put up with this? Because there's a turkey farm.
well, they don't squawk all over. They have their favorite, you know, they flock together, and they have their favorite spots.
Mm-hmm.
But when they're all together, they're chirping away and squawking, and
Oh dear God.
so
It's about it.
I'm amazed that they were able to make a nest this far north. Make a
What
nest.
about those fucking birds that, you know, like, hey, you know, hey, little dive bomber, hey, you little, hey, what's up, you little dive bomber? And dive bomber makes like,
You talking about parrots that can talk?
sounds. And what?
Well, African gray parrots are supposed to be the best talkers of all the parrots.
Or orgasmically good.
They're not the prettiest, but they're organic parrots. Would you say?
Or orgasmically good talkers. Like some birds where I live, they're like in the morning. They're like this.
What do they have?
I don't know what to say about that one, but anyway, out where I live, there's a turkey farm, and a lot of turkeys will escape from the farm, and they come out into the fields down below the house. And there's just one in particular. He always escapes, and it seems like he always escapes when there's a storm, and he always
They don't have
winds up in the
asthma. They
field.
look like they're trying to fucking.
Oh, a domesticated turkey, not the
Yeah. He shows up in the field down below the house, and he's a big ass turkey. I mean, when he spreads his wings and he shows himself, I mean, he is big.
Oh yeah, the white. Well, they're not all white, but a lot of them are. They get pretty huge,
white people.
and they could be very assertive. Like if they want food from you, or they can pick a fight with another bird. You know, I mean.
Oh yeah, and when him and another one escapes, they'll get into fights down in the bottom of the field. Yeah, when they get into fights, it's pretty funny to watch because their feathers flock and they're like all up at each other and they're making the. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and they're like, geese. Geese could be like domesticated white geese. They
Geese can be nasty.
Yeah, geese will chase you. I mean, I don't. I'm not. I mean, there's nothing to be afraid of. But
yeah, I've been chased by geese and ducks. They're not fun to be chased by.
Yeah,
I just heard the turkey.
Yeah, but yeah, we have some ducks and some geese down at the creek below the house. They like to hang out down there.
No, yeah, geese will definitely, if they feel like you're fucking with their young, they'll be like.
That's okay. I got a shotgun with some birdshot in it, so.
Holy shit, man! Somebody will be. I'll be like, it's not trying to do shit.
So
yeah, well.
So they, so Michael Hilton. Now, has this show taken your mind off of Asian women?
I would say so. I would say so. It has eliminated the Asian fetish. It has put it into restriction. It has locked it down. So
Now, is that Asian jingle song? Is that a real song, like the one that goes da 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 da?
No, man. What would you say about locking down the Asian fetish and then you ask a question? It's like, what? I don't, dude, James, I don't fucking know.
Now, why do they call an egg roll if there's no eggs in the egg roll?
I have no idea, but if I'm at the Japanese hibachi crew, what they do is before they crack the eggs, they spin it, and then they spin it on the spatula, and they go egg roll, egg roll, egg roll.
Oh, because it's spin.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
and I'm like, oh, you gotta wake up the fetus in there. Can't be having no sleeping dead chickens in there now.
Well, the Philippines eat the fertilized duck egg with the embryo inside.
Ooh,
shit.
Good
shit. I gotta hop on to another Zoom meeting a couple minutes after this. But
you got another meeting?
Yeah, I do. But this has been fucking awesome though. We are live at over 3 minutes in now. I'm live with James Madonna of Progressive Discussions.
You got another meeting? More?
I do.
More
So I'm calling it.
Okay.
Sorry, man. I'm gonna pirate.
Yeah, you know what?
Last call.
We might as well wrap it up. It's been 3 hours.
Yeah, it has been.
And I also want to save your hours, though, James.
Well, I want to make sure for Sunday, yeah.
Yeah.
But they say you can check your hours if you click on settings and then billing.
Oh, okay.
You can see what hours you got left. But anyway,
guys, I gotta hop off. I gotta go join.
Yeah, it has been great.
All right, I'll be over on the phone on the messenger. So all right.
Yeah, but dude, you guys don't gotta remind me about the stream. I know about the stream. I'll be here. Just you know me. It's just I'm here.
I just did 30 minutes to showtime, and Michael got excited about that, or he got upset. Thought I was timing.
No, just saying. I was plenty ecstatic about it. So I already knew.
Well, I should have said, Mike, are you around? And you would have said, yeah, I'll be around.
Yeah.
Fart doctor.
James, you whooped my ass that other week, but I'm whooping your ass on this subject.
Fart doctor is one of Ronald J. Curio's fans. How are you, Mr. Fart Doctor?
Oh,
no, I was never on Piper's Pit. I never met the man.
Not a fake account. That's good.
I've met others. You should have came aboard earlier.
Fart Doctor, what's up with all these fake YouTube accounts, man?
No, he's for real.
Some people are fake though, and they keep commenting.
Well, no, Fart Doctor is not a real name.
Yeah, you upload a 50 and somebody leaves a comment 5 minutes in. It's just you know that is a fucking fake, man.
I see Fart Doctor on Jay Tirio's shows.
Oh, nice. Glad
I see him.
Glad FD is in the house.
Oh, you missed all the beers that Michael Hilton reviewed. He reviewed a whole bunch of them.
I did a golden ale. I did a heavy lift vessel. A half submersible can carry the whole destroyer. So
yeah,
we do that as a beer theme.
We start around 11:30 or so.
Absolutely.
11:30 p.m. Eastern time with the beer reviews. From 11 to 11:30 we do dating and relationship talk. But after 11:30 it's beer.
Nobody explicitly gave us permission to do that. but we're still fucking doing that because that's just
we
that's just fucking cool.
we do beard and food after 11:30 generally.
Oh,
Then that's when Damian Owens comes on.
Wait, James, are you subscribed to my YouTube channel?
What is your YouTube channel called?
Michael Hilton.
Oh, okay, Michael Hilton. Oh,
Exactly
I didn't know.
what do you think it is, bro?
You're a gastro. Oh, that's why you're calling yourself Fart Doctor. It's like on the Seinfeld episode, Ass Man. You remember that? On the license plate, Craig Kramer got the wrong license plate. Said Ass Man, gastroenterologist. So
I like his profile picture on YouTube.
Now let me ask Fart Doctor a question. After 11:30, then he brings a whole bunch of craft beers. If a person sends a stool sample that's examined, and there's nothing wrong with the stool sample, does that mean a person still needs a colonoscopy? Seriously, no, I'm serious. Like if the stool sample is examined and it's nothing wrong with it. No, religion. No, we don't. No. I usually do. Sometimes I get into discussions with Jay about that. Sometimes we don't have a religious talk a show, even though.
I can't fucking hear you, man. Can't fucking hear Danny. What the fuck's going on?
Because you gotta turn your speaker and mic to the max. You gotta turn it up. I'm capable of doing a religious talk show because you probably watched that show that me and Jay did on Good Friday. Theology, theological type show, but we don't have any steady show. We're gonna do. We do a political show every Sunday at 10:30 p.m. We do a progressive political show. Myself and Damian and what's his name, and Mike Hilton. But there's no beer until.
Motherfucker, we've done so many like co-hosting shows. You forgot my fucking name. How's that?
I said Michael Hilton.
Oh, Mike, calm down, Mike.
I said Michael Hilton. But after the political talk, we add mysticism. Damian Owens does the tarot card reading for the State of the Union tarot card reading, and I bring my divining rods, and we answer questions and sometimes viewers want their tarot cards read. We add politics, mysticism, and then when that's over, we talk a little bit about food and beer.
All right.
Yeah.
I think
I've seen
if there's blood, if there's blood found, okay, I understand. So the stool sample is a good way to tell if one needs a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. All of the shows are promoted at the top of the Progressive Discussions YouTube channel. All of the upcoming shows in advance. So, take care, everybody.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye bye. Bye, Mike.
Bye bye.